Okay, we're live.
We're live. Did anybody know that we're coming on?
Barbara knows. I don't know
Okay.
if anybody else knows.
Well,
I didn't go announce it. I just told Barbara that she
I'll
asked
go
specifically.
I'll
And
go to
so,
Facebook and announce it. That's
okay, I'll let you.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Oh.
I think.
I had a box of
Good.
scraps. And that's tissue paper scraps. That's not, I mean, I
Oh.
could use them, but that's not really what I'm looking for. Here we go. Just scraps. Okay.
There we go.
Hello.
There's
Welcome,
Barbara and
welcome.
Brittany and Joyce.
Oh,
We're gonna
sorry, my
see her.
brain is dead. I
We're
know
gonna
you're
see.
tired of hearing that from me. Every time I get on nowadays, that's what I say.
Well, that's because our brains are dead. That's because, we just don't have it in us anymore to think straight.
We're just being, we're just being honest.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well, and
okay.
I had to deal with some stuff this morning, made me grumpy again. So, um, you know, when you buy something as expensive as the RV was from a dealer, you and buy a brand new one, you would expect the dealer to be able to answer some questions here and there and
Yeah.
not get handed off to somebody else who doesn't know and then they hand you back off to somebody else. It's like,
Barbara says, join the club. You're going to wake my brain up. I hope so, Barbara. I hope I can wake my brain up. Well,
I don't make any promises. Okay, so tell us. Wait a minute. Make me big. Make you no. Make me big. Yeah, make me big. Yeah, right. No,
make
not
you
that's
big.
not.
Okay.
No, make
Well,
you big, and then tell
make,
us what your idea was.
oh, okay. Well, that doesn't really help a whole lot because I'm so far away.
Oh.
But when I was jelly printing, I had it way up there. I need to bring it down a little. I'll do that in a minute when I make you
Mhm.
big so you don't have to watch me. Anyway, I got this thing that says prayers and blessings. And it's one of those things that stands up, and every day you turn the page.
Mhm.
So I went through it and I took out the scriptures and the blessings in it that were fairly short
Mhm.
so that I can cut those out and use those and do collage with scraps on here and then put one of those blessings or scriptures on it.
On it. Okay.
And so I didn't quite take out half of them, but anyway, I just thought that would be fun. I saw somebody who was doing this, with their scraps from their table,
Mhm.
and they were just making collages. They didn't, and just it was pure art. There were no words or nothing, and they were really cool. But I thought I got this because I liked, what it had in it, and so I thought I wanted to
Mhm.
incorporate that, and then I could use it like you do, just turn to one, and I could have something
Yeah.
to inspire me or encourage me. And I thought, well, I've got all this scraps of stuff, I might as well play with it. And they also, they just glued down scraps and then they did some stamping and a little bit of paint, whatever they wanted to on top of it, just like you would a journal page, any journal page. But they were just doing it on this, so it was small and they didn't have any words on it. And I don't even remember where I saw it. It was something on Pinterest. But when I went back to find out who did it, so I could tell you who did it, I couldn't find it again. I thought I thought that I saved it to my collage folder, but it's not in there that I could find. So, hey Lisa, welcome. So glad you're here.
Hi, Lisa.
Joyce,
I was so mad they had an hour-long recording. Oh, um,
I'm
yeah.
so sorry, Joyce.
I understand. I had that CT scan last Friday. I still have heard nothing. Just like, okay.
Well, it must not be
So,
dangerous.
must. Well, I didn't figure it was dangerous, anyways. Only here for a minute, but you thought you would stop by. Well, I'm glad. Hello. Are you going to take the pages out so you can glue on them more easily?
Well, I thought about that, but you can't really do that and then put them back in
Why not?
because they tear.
No, no, no. Don't tear them out. That spiral binding's easy enough to open up.
Oh, well, see, I didn't even think about that.
Have you never
See,
opened
this is
one of
why
those?
we aren't with friends because they they have wisdom
I
we
mean,
lack.
just don't put a bunch of stuff up on the
Oh, I
holes
see
because
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
then you can work on a bunch of them all at one time.
Let's see if I can do it without.
Yeah, just
Of
pop
course,
it
you have to
open just
take
a
this
little.
off first.
No, do you?
Yeah, because
It
it's on
it
the behind.
it's on the back. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's all right.
Okay, I'm just gonna
And
open it
then
up a little bit.
I wouldn't take them all off at the same time. Oh, okay. I think I said hello to my sister.
You
I have a
did.
cinch machine that makes books like that, and I have yet to use it. I actually have a punch that will repunch those square holes like that, but unless you do, I wouldn't put anything over the holes.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
It's
that way you
the
can,
paper behind the holes is. I mean, it's decorative anyway, so
yeah, but it will make it so much easier for you
it
to work on.
will. I'm so glad I have such a smart friend, and they don't have to be in any order because
No, because you're going
I'm
to cover
covering
them
them
up.
up.
Hmm.
And I'm just going to take it all apart and I'll put it all back together when I get finished because
Okay.
um, that way I can put this up and not. And I'm just going to leave the cover like this.
Yeah, I like it because that's what you're going to put back on as the words.
Right.
So,
So, okay.
and I'm just fussy cutting stuff today. I didn't have enough brain cells to think up something to do. I'm going to doodle here in a few minutes. Um,
Well, this didn't take brain cells. It just took something I saw on Pinterest.
well, yeah, but you have to have things gathered.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So,
But
and since
so
I was
we're all
cleaning,
gathered is this bucket of scraps. So it wasn't that hard to gather.
and since I was
Okay.
cleaning in the laundry room,
Oh, yeah.
um, that was the major part of my morning.
Thank you again for my glue sticks.
You're welcome. I'm glad I remembered to send them to. Will you show us the envelopes you took out? Well, my dear sister. Uh-huh. Okay, yes, I'll be glad to show you them. They're right here with this other stuff that I have. Ta-da! Didn't do a thing on them. Not a thing. I have them all ready to go, and I went and bought two red pens right before I left. Just a minute, I have them right here. Ta-da! Ta-da! So that I could work on this. Yep, didn't happen.
So maybe you'll get to watch how they turned out when she does them, since
Yes,
she didn't do them on the trip.
I will probably work on them on Sundays, maybe, or maybe with Lisa or something. It's like kind of trying to do one project at a time at the moment because I have a basket full. Yeah, but that's what happened on my trip. Let's see, what art did I do while I was on my trip? Uh, I made mom's postcards, and the last week I didn't even get any of those done. So I have to kind of make some postcards that represent those last few days because Otherwise, I won't have a complete book. And then Mom spilt water all over the bag that had them in, so I have a bunch that are kind of tore up, but that's all right. I'll still turn them into a book.
Brittany says she loves your circle collages.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm just going to glue stuff down. So this is going to
There
be,
you
you know,
go. It's kind of going to be one of those laid back days, guys.
yes.
Just simply because neither one of us have enough brain cells left. I think Jeff just came in for lunch. Finally,
And, and no energy.
yeah. Well, um, Jeff and Brandon, uh, oh, they had a time. They left Tuesday morning at 6 a.m.
Is this when they were going to get his truck?
Yep, they were going to get a truck.
A
Now,
truck.
here's a truck. Here's the deal. This truck weighs almost 10,000 pounds.
Good grief.
Yeah, it's a big, heavy diesel pickup truck. It's antique. This one's actually a year younger than Brandon. The one he has in Omaha is the same year as Brandon. Need a layback back. Yeah, I need a layback day before tomorrow.
What you doing tomorrow, Lisa?
She's got to have some surgery done on her ankles.
Oh
At
goodness,
least
I'll
I
be
think
praying for you.
what
I'm going to write that down.
I think that's what tomorrow was. I know she's got to do it. We talked on the phone the other day. My husband actually thought I was talking to you, Texas Lisa. When I said I was talking to Lisa, he goes, "Oh, how is she? Such, and something." And he asked if Hannah got all sorted and moved, and I said, "I was talking
Wrong,
to
Lisa.
other Lisa."
On her foot?
So, yeah, ankles.
Ankle.
Yeah, she has lipomas in her ankles that hurt. So,
Oh. Well, I'm glad there's something they can do for it.
yep, me too. Okay, I got two doodads on here that I apparently didn't finish, so I gotta finish those. Hi, Mina. Haven't
Hi,
seen you in
Nina.
a while.
Welcome,
Lipomas.
welcome.
Lipomas. That's what they are. The camera. Oh, anyways, so they leave. They get to Tennessee. And apparently it's out in the middle of Never Never Land, you know. It of course isn't in a city. Okay, first off, Monday Jeff had to drive an hour and a half almost away to get a trailer that's heavy enough to haul this thing. Plus he's got to buy a different trailer hitch for my truck to haul this thing. So he goes, he gets a trailer, and gets home, and they get everything sorted out. And they both go to bed early, and they get up at 5 o'clock, and they leave at 6 o'clock. And they do just really well getting up there because, you know, they're hauling an empty trailer, which is never easy.
Yeah.
Even though Jeff said it hauled real well, even empty. It handled well because the trailer's heavy. And my truck is set out to haul pretty much anything. So they get up there and they look over the truck and they get it loaded. And apparently it all goes very, very well. You know, but it takes a little while. It's not like it happened in 5 minutes. So they get back on the road. Their intention is to come right back home. Okay, and they're doing great. They get to Birmingham and they get just south of the loop in Birmingham. And apparently my truck decides that it needs a new alternator all of a sudden.
Oh, dear.
Okay, so what's happening is the battery light keeps coming on. And they're both pretty sure that it's an alternator issue. So they have to drive 12 miles. Okay, this is like 10 o'clock at night. Well, Brandon finds an AutoZone that's open, believe it or not, until midnight. He says it must be a hub, some kind of hub situation. So they go back 13 miles to this AutoZone, and Brandon's getting the stuff they need to deal with this, and gonna get the alternator. And Jeff's standing there talking to me, telling me that they're having problems, and that it's going to take them a little while, because they're having issues. And okay, I've lost the lid to this one. There it is. This one's decided it's going to be funky, so that's fine. Okay, they're having issues. They're getting it fixed. But while Jeff's standing there talking to me, one of the tires decides to spit out all its air.
Oh dear.
They got a tire completely leaking air
On your truck?
on my truck. Yep. So they get the alternator changed. Then they have to change the tire because they put some kind of slime stuff in it, hopefully hoping that that would fix it, but it didn't. And come to find out, it's the valve stem where you put the air into the tire. Apparently just dry rotted. So they changed the tire. And, they're both tired by now anyways. So they get everything picked up, and they get things kind of, sorted out, and the tools all put away, and they get back on the road. And one of them says to the other, "Did you finish tightening that lug nuts?"
Oh no.
Oh, and yeah, well, that's Alaska Lisa, and Lisa here is Lisa on live is Lisa, Texas Lisa. Anyways, so a mile and a half from where they had stopped, they have to pull off the expressway and tighten the lug nuts because they forgot to finish tightening them up. So then they get down the road some more. Okay, so there's this place where we get off the expressway. It's north of here by hour and a half. Maybe not even that. Anyways, then we come cross country on this 4-lane road that's very nice. But so they decide there's a place right there where you can stop, and it's a closed truck stop kind of thing. So they decide they're going to stop and sleep for half an hour. Of course, Jeffrey's knees decide to act up, and he can't sleep. So they got home at 6 o'clock yesterday morning. And they both slept until 10, and then got up. Hi, Sharon. Got up and
Hi, Sharon.
had to drive the hour and a half down the road to get the trailer taken back. So that was their day yesterday. And of course, I didn't sleep because I was worried about them.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yep. So it's been a really fun few days around here.
Yeah, sounds like it.
So now there's a giant, very old truck in my backyard. So, but the deal is this is a match for the truck he has in Omaha that is the same age as him. And this one's transmission works. Plus, it's got a bunch of other parts on it. So, one way or another, I don't know which one is going to be taken apart. But now that we know that we can haul one with my truck, they're probably going to go get the other one.
Yeah.
So that the two trucks can be turned into one truck.
Well, there you go.
So,
Well, that's one way to keep something you care about is to.
yeah. Well, it was all of a sudden he found this one that had the transmission. Apparently, the transmission in these like to go easily.
Yeah.
Sharon, did I say hello? I hope so. Um,
You did, because
okay.
that's how I noticed she was here, was because you said something, because I wasn't
Something.
looking.
Okay. All right. Um, anyways, uh, so then I'm going to have two really old trucks in my driveway. But it's not a big deal. They won't go get it for a little while because there's a lot to do to this one before he would be ready. And honestly, this one's running and the transmission's working. So um, the other his in Omaha, the transmission croaked out on him. And apparently, getting a new transmission is not so easy because the truck is so old.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, Barbara. She says, we have a fairly large group of folks here in Northern California who love to rehab those old wonderful cars and go on a parade a couple of times a year.
There's a couple of groups here in town that not only do they actually have coffee and cars, I think once a month. Now, a lot of them, the Jeep Club does coffee and cars too. They have a big parking lot and they get together and just a minute. They just show off all the cars. But there's a group for old this and old that and old that. So uh, then there's always the new Jeeps and that kind of stuff too. So that's always fun. We used to do a art show. Okay, it wasn't in Spearfish. North of Spearfish, South Dakota, there's another town, and I'll remember it tonight in the middle of the night. And I used to do this art show there. And the same weekend they did the art show, there was a Corvette club that would come in with all of their old vets. And uh, do a like a whole weekend of parading around town and stuff like that. So those are coming out pretty.
I think so. I'm happy with them so far.
That's what matters. You do know I'm saving all of these little pieces of paper that's in between, right?
Of course.
Okay, there's a point where this is might be becoming an obsession. I don't know.
The little papers, you mean?
Yes. There again, I wish I had only painted a couple of papers for this particular project and gotten more of the doodles done and that kind of thing.
And what are you going to do with this?
I'm going to collage them. Oh, there will be a video next week about this is leftover work from my workshop that I took when I went to Arkansas to
Oh,
Fayetteville.
yeah,
The
rosemary.
Shannon, well, no, Rosemary did just a minute, natural dyeing. This one, just a minute, maybe her name is right here near me. No, it's probably somewhere else.
So it's not Shannon Green or Rosemary, it was someone else?
Yes, we had 4 teachers. Shannon didn't teach. Shannon was a
Hi,
coordinator.
Mindy. Welcome,
Hi,
welcome.
Mandy.
Oh, bye, Lisa. I
Bye,
hope
Lisa.
you said bye in time.
Um, Shannon didn't teach. She and a friend of hers, Donna Joy, um, organized the whole thing. And I think Shannon felt like if she had tried to teach, she couldn't oversee things. Do you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Now, Donna taught one of the classes, and Rosemary taught one of the classes. And just a minute, these are the right ones. Yeah. Um, and hi, Mindy. And oh, I cannot remember their names. It's not helping me. Um, there was a bookbinder that taught one of the classes. Anyways, next week there's a video for to show you the two projects I finished and give you an idea of the two projects I didn't finish because
Okay.
I didn't get done. Um, I was Rosemary's class was phenomenal. If you get a chance to take a natural dyeing class with her, it was awesome. I really had a good time. And I've done natural dyes before, but the way she taught it and some of the things she taught us about, it was very enjoyable. Plus, we used some dyes that I had never used before. So that was a lot of fun. Um, Makes me want to go dye paper and
Yeah.
play with stuff and yet I haven't had a chance and not going to get a chance for a while because I really, really, really got to make beads. There's a lovely new RV payment I have to make.
One of these days, Tanya, one of these days, you're going to get rid of an RV payment.
Well, I did for almost a whole year.
Mhm.
Yep. Uh-huh. Almost an entire year. Uh-huh. But I can guarantee this is the last one. Not going to be another one. I tell you what, though, I cannot tell you how much nicer this one is to drive and ride in.
Oh, good.
It really is so much better. When we were headed home, we did actually three times we did extremely long days. We did over 400 miles in one day, and in our other rig, that would have killed us both. And in this rig, Jeffrey didn't even ask me to drive, which was kind of, it's like, don't I ever get to drive?
Yeah. You're like, wait a minute, I want to drive. Give me a
I want
chance.
to drive. Yeah, I want to
When's it
drive.
my turn? When's it my turn?
And while we were in Iowa, before we had our little problems, we we were on the expressway one day when the wind turbines, you know, when they spin really, really slow, they're going a couple hundred miles an hour. Even when they're going really, really slow and it looks like they're not moving at all, they're going faster than you think because they're so big and they're so far out there. Anyways, they were spinning like this,
Oh, my goodness.
and we didn't even notice the wind. Now, in our other rig, we probably would have gotten off the road because it was so bad. So, did you bring that down some?
Yeah.
I thought so.
I
So,
decided it'd be nice to be able to see what I'm actually doing. So,
what you're doing now? Well, I'm going to cut these two out and then I'm going to go back to doodling because,
oh, there's something
but actually, I'm going to put these all together in a collage. That was the gist of the class we took. So that's the plan, and I wanted multiple different colors and multiple different shapes. So I haven't really um, laid them out or looked at them. All I've done is just gotten some of them doodled.
Okay, you probably told me what you were going to actually do with them, but
I'm going to make a collage with them.
a collage. Okay.
Yeah. 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 She gave us a canvas board, a board, I'm going to put them on some canvas card. She gave us a thick, there again, it's not over here because I did the video and put it up. It's like a 3/4 inch finished wooden type canvas. And I'll never do that. I'll never use it. So I bought some canvas boards, you know, the
Right.
regular canvas boards that I could use for a journal cover. So that's my plan.
Sounds like a good one.
I just know that I won't use the other. It will just be something that is kind of wasted away. And okay, let's see here. This one needs some doodles, both of those. So let's figure out what we can do on it. Okay, let's maybe bring it in a little closer though, because it's boring to do that. So the kids are all doing okay?
Yeah. Um, I called Hannah yesterday and she's like, I said, "How are you doing?" She goes, "Oh, Mom, it's that time of the month. I'm just not doing good." And TJ said, "She's really doing better than she sounds." And I said, "What are you doing home?" He goes, "Oh, well, I'm sick."
Oh no.
So, so what are y'all doing? Just being bums together? He said, "Yeah, it's way better than being sick alone."
Oh
So
dear.
they're doing good.
Yeah.
But
Oh, and he's sick, huh?
yeah, I hope he's better today, but
Yeah.
better than being sick alone. But anyway, uh,
Well, I thought Jeff was going to have a major migraine yesterday the way he got up, but he did all right. I mean, he only had a few hours sleep in the morning, and he took a nap for about an hour in the afternoon, and he's been out mowing the lawn today. Of course, just because it's growing like mad.
well, Sparrow is climatizing pretty well.
Okay.
He was sick the first few days.
Oh,
Just um,
nerves.
well, that's what Hannah thought it was, but her mother-in-law said she thought it was probably altitude sickness,
Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and because he wouldn't eat or drink,
Mm-hmm.
and she said that means he's nauseous, and that's one of the things that altitude sickness will do to you. So
But
anyway,
Hannah hasn't. Oh, Barbara, Brandon was here to take care of the greenhouse, and other than the fact that it's all messy, my
hey,
son
Julie,
does not.
Julie, we're glad you're here.
Hi, Julie. My son doesn't know how to clean up. Uh, that's one of my chores in the next few days is to go out and clean up the greenhouse. Um, he's got two fans running out there because there's still plants in it. I was out watering last night, um, but he took most of the plants out and got them in the ground before I left. He was still working on some of them even after I left, but that's one of those things that it's a work in progress.
Right.
Um, we've been eating uh, cucumbers pretty much every day.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
jealous. I got a cucumber at the store yesterday or day before yesterday and made a salad with it, and it looked fine. It was nice and firm and everything, but it just made the whole salad taste bad. I was like, ah, why didn't I
yeah,
taste it first?
yeah. I've been making sure to taste them first because I have had a couple that were so bitter I couldn't eat them. Um, the what do I want to say? I actually had some that went to waste because he picked them before we got home, but they were huge, and he'd let them get too big, and then there was still plenty on the vines that we could actually eat. So I let them go to the compost bin because I just we can only eat so many,
Yeah,
and there's not enough to make pickles. Okay, and I'm not going to fuss with pickles for a handful.
right.
So those ones that were too big, I did let go to the compost bin. Just simply because I just didn't see any reason to force us to eat them. And the uh, the new ones are better, but I have been tasting them before I use them anything because I've had two or three get very bitter.
Well, I'm used to, I always test the ones I grow because I've
Mm-hmm.
definitely had that happen. But this wasn't even bitter. It just, I don't even know how to describe it. It was just
Awful.
yucky. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was like, okay, this doesn't even taste like cucumber. Of course, I have
Mm.
to admit that my taster is, off and on since I had the big
Yeah.
sink. I
Mm-hmm.
Nothing tastes good, you know.
Jeff is the same
So
way. He doesn't want to eat anything. Of course, he's also taking that Ozempic,
yeah.
so a lot of times nothing tastes good. But I will tell you that it has done a world of good. His A1C was down to just a little over 6, and it had been 8.
Oh,
And
that's wonderful.
he's lost. I don't remember how much he said, but I think 25 or so pounds. Wonder what makes him go bitter. Um, Heat can do it, Julie. Improv in what am I want to say? Watering them where they get a lot one day and not enough the other day. Stuff in the ground. Um, because it can be a small one and still be bitter, and sometimes they can get big and have seeds in them, and they can still taste okay. Um,
Yeah.
Sometimes
It's just
the outsides can get so hard you have to peel them, and they still taste okay. So,
Have you ever done the thing where you cut off the end with where the stem is and then rub
hmm
it on the rest of the other part
yeah. Do you
and
find it works?
sometimes it works great. Sometimes it doesn't work
Yeah,
so well,
I
but
don't. I don't buy them at the store, so when I run
it
into
doesn't work on the ones from the store. I'm not
okay,
sure why. Maybe because they're
okay,
picked green, before they're really ready, or I don't know.
uh-huh.
But it I haven't found it works on those, but it does work on the ones that I when I've grown them in the past.
Well, and we picked 3 big cabbages, and I've been trying to, I cooked one of those the other day while the guys were gone so that we could get that kind of used up because, I
Oh,
don't want them to go bad.
I see people saying
Uh,
hi, Kathy, and I didn't notice she was here. I'm sorry, Kathy. I'm so
I
glad you're
didn't
here.
either. Hi, Kathy.
Please forgive me for not noticing.
Yeah, I hadn't looked up. I was doing
Me
this and had
either.
not looked up.
Just talking with my head down.
Yeah. We're glad you're here though. Eggplant. We've had eggplant a couple of times. Lots of tomatoes. Of course, Brandon put in 29 tomato plants.
Yeah.
Um,
If you don't have enough tomatoes, I'm going to be worried about you.
Yeah. Well, I actually have some in the dehydrator right now because we had a huge rain the other day, and while they were gone, I went out there. Um, I went out there and picked because they were starting to check. You know, the skin will split
Right.
if they get too much rain at one time. So I picked a whole bowl full. I used some in what I was cooking, and then I put some in the dehydrator. So they'll be done probably tomorrow morning or this evening. And I'm going to just pulverize them and turn them into powder. Um, I did that last year with some I had. And
Hey, Jamie. Welcome, welcome.
hi, Jamie. Um,
She, she says you can dehydrate cabbage. It doesn't look pretty, but you can add it to soups or whatever.
I had never thought about dehydrating the cabbage. They usually keep pretty well, so I have been not too worried about it. But um, I have some purple ones in the. Just a minute. They're in the garden still, and I haven't decided what I want to do about whether I'll use them or not. So far, I haven't had any problem using it and getting it used up, but um, I will think about dehydrate. I've got something called Okinawan spinach. It's a plant. It's not really spinach. It's a plant that will grow in the heat, and I've got it in several places in the yard now. I used to only have one. Well, because I've got it several places, I've got extra, and I'm thinking about dehydrating a bunch of it because I like it in stir fry and soups and things like that, and it should work real well that way too. So it's a smaller leaf, so it should work. Well, hi Beth.
Hi, Beth. Welcome, welcome.
Kathy came in late. You want to show her your little book?
Well, it's it's all deconstructed.
Well, but you can show her what you started with, sort of.
It's one of these um, flip everyday books, and I took it apart and I kept some of the uh, scriptures and the blessings that are short to put on top of these, and then I'm collaging on the rest of them, and so it won't be one every day, but it's not like I would look at it every day anyway. So um, anyway, that's what it is. I'm just decorating these, and then I'm going to put it back together.
And I've got to get busy and dehydrate oregano and basil because both of those things are just, prolific. And of course, we've got those in different places in the yard because there again, I had one plant and then uh, we added more plants because I just planted a bunch of seeds. So and he's put them in multiple places, partially to attract the bees.
Beth's waving.
So,
We're waving back, Beth.
okay, she's waving hello, and we didn't say. I thought I said hello to Beth.
You did say hello.
Okay,
I just
okay,
noticed she said she was waving, so I had to
she's
wave.
waving. Okay, well, and I like I said, guys, I cannot see that chat very well. I don't know what the deal is. And the stronger glasses make it worse. Wonder if the ones I have on my other table would be better. I wonder if I have any really, really.
She said the wave was for the chat room.
Oh, the wave was for the chat room. Okay. Let's just see what those are. Of course, when I bought glasses the last time I bought it, can't read that with those glasses. Okay. Yeah, like I can never, like I'm gonna be able to read that. No, those are 7.5s too. Those are 7.5s. 7.5s.
I'm sorry. I find it funny that you have so many glasses.
I'll tell you why, because I keep breaking them. That is why I have a little drawer full. Because I stick them on top of my head, and then I break them. And even this pair that I was wearing, see, they're almost done because they're about ready to break. Especially when I got two pair up there. Well, Julie, I'm sorry you got to go to work.
I wish you could stay home too.
Mm-hmm. Um, when I go out, I have one pair usually stuck on top of my head, and there's always an extra pair in my bag because it never fails. I break them in the grocery store. And I can't read anything without them. And I can't see the chat at all without them, but with them it's still fuzzy. So I don't know. Maybe I need to see if maybe some ones will make it work. That and whatever's going on with my face is messing with my eyes, I think.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of foggy even when I'm.
Well, there's probably some swelling.
Yeah.
Inside, that's.
And that's what the gal thought last week whenever I went to see her, is that I possibly chipped a bone or cracked a little bone in there. Because frankly, if it was a tooth or my sinuses, the antibiotics I had should have taken some of it down, and it's not. So, and so my only guess is that I must have boogered it up worse than I thought. By the end of my shift yesterday, I was in so much pain. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Oh.
Let's say a quick prayer for Julie that her day will be better today. Heavenly Father, we thank you for Julie. We thank you for her loyalty and dedication to her job. We thank you that she um, does the very best she can. And we pray, Lord, that you will help her not have to deal with so much pain today. Lord, help her to have a good day at work and to be able to come home and rest afterwards. We thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Lisa. Oh, heavens. Don't mess up. Come here.
Is it not working?
Oh, if you stop for a second with some of these, they just stop. And it's just,
Yeah.
I really love these pens, but they can be a pain. So.
It's interesting because this whole part right up here is part of the original page.
Oh, isn't that pretty?
But it just fits right in, so I'm just going to leave it.
Yep. Aren't you glad it goes out?
I am. I am so glad. Thank you so much.
Hmm.
Oh,
That is one reason why I choose that kind of book is so that you can take it out to work with it. Okay, this is not going to work. So not going to work.
well, bought them before and took the pages out to do something with. Not well, even these, but I've
Hmm.
never bought them and took the pages out to put them back in.
Back in.
And so
Hmm.
I've always had to really stretch these out,
Yeah.
and that made it, um, so I, I'm proud of myself for being able to just barely do it.
Yeah, it should, most of the time you can just do it a little bit, and then when you put it all back together, pinch it a little further than you think each one, and then it should spring back as you flip them.
Yeah.
I have something similar, but I think it was one of those plastic spirals that I
Uh
was
huh.
thinking about doing something like that with. Sometimes I think if I never made another dot, I would be okay, but then I would miss the dots. So,
Yeah, I think you would. I think you would miss it.
oh dear, Julie's been throwing them away and she didn't think to save them to do something like what you're doing with.
I
Well,
bet you'll get another chance, Julie,
I bet you will.
because there are lots of them out there, and people give them as gifts, and they're at thrift
Hmm.
stores, and so
Well, and I've bought them sometimes because just to have the sayings to use in them.
yes. And when I bought
And
this one, that's what I bought it for. I thought I would just take the sayings out and use them in something else.
hmm
But since I hadn't done it, I can do
you
this.
you decided to do that. I got some space. I need to do something with this space. And I'm going to have to excuse myself. I'm going to have to go get some eye drops. So I'll be back in just a
Alrighty,
minute.
we'll be here. Barbara says, I repurposed one of those cinch bound hardback calendars, gel printed everything, and turned it into a songbook with monthly dividers becoming alpha dividers. That's a great idea. But I couldn't preserve or reuse the cinch binding, ended up sewing it together with a single page binding. Well, that's okay. It's just a little bit different. It makes it even more your own. I'm going to finish the collaging these four, and then I'm going to go ahead and do some ink and stenciling and stamping and maybe some paint and I don't know what all. We'll see. I'm interested in that answer too, Julie. When you collage on things, then you make them thicker. Paint does the same thing, but not quite as much. And that's one reason I thought it was fine to, take out half of these because I knew that I knew it would be thicker. Keep talking yourself out of buying a cinch machine. Yeah, I haven't. I've seen them. I even saw one at a thrift store and thought about buying it because the price was right. But I don't really like that kind of binding, so I don't bind thing. I mean, I wouldn't want to purposefully bind something that way, if that makes sense. It's um so I would only, be using it maybe to rebind something that's already been bound or something. Um Mangling the spiral is what I've always done, Barbara, so I understand that. The local copy shop might have a cinch binder you could use if you needed a cinch binder. That is probably true. Um, I think Home Depot, not Home Depot, sorry, Office Depot has several different kinds of things that ways that they can bind things for you. I've done. I've taken a book there and had that was just like paperback bound, a paperback book, and had them cut off that binding and ring bind it for me so I could flip it. When the kids, when I was doing homeschooling the kids, I did that quite often because it was such a hassle to deal with those paperback books and try to turn to the next page and they won't lay flat and all that kind of stuff. So
Yes, most of anybody who does copies can do that for you. Kinko's or what you call it. Sorry to take so long, but of course, when I reached for it, it let go and rolled underneath the dresser.
sorry to laugh.
But that's just the way it goes, It's just the way. That's just it. Yeah.
That's just the way it goes. Yeah.
Hmm. Binding's always on the left, and my left-handed, so it's in your way. Lisa's left-handed too, so I imagine that was the problem.
That is a big, yeah, that's a big part of it. Um, I'm trying to remember where I was when I complained about it, and everybody looked at me like they didn't know what I was talking about. Why is that a problem?
Yeah.
And I
It's
was
like
like, well, I don't know, but don't doesn't it bother you? And they were like, no.
eh, it's like okay. That is one reason why I like you know, to write in a spiral bound book because then it will lay flat and I don't have to fight with the binding kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, composition books are so cool, and I like the paper in them and that kind of thing. But if I'm really gonna write a lot, I always use the um, spiral book. Yep, Barbara. Oh, it never fails that something like that's gonna roll right underneath something else. It just the way it works. Okay, I had
Julie says the
these.
spiral notebooks are a pain to use because of that, and I'm right-handed, so so it's not just left-handed people who
Mm-hmm.
have to deal with it. Of
Yep. So
course, I always turn my stuff like this. Like if I was
yeah,
going to write on this page, I turn it
uh,
like this to write,
to write. Yeah.
specifically to avoid having to deal with all that stuff.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, come on now. Okay, what? Why can't I see that? Oh, that's why. See, the other thing is my eyes are okay. See, this pair's going in the trash. Look, see, they're too big and they're falling off. So I get to get out another pair somewhere. Okay. Hmm. Yes. Um, I can't see the chat with the ones that I can see the paper with.
Julie says that would hurt her neck. Are you talking about turning the paper, or I'm not sure what would hurt her neck.
Probably turning the paper.
Okay, this is a washi tape I made out of book
Yeah.
pages,
Uh huh.
and
Turning the paper. Yeah, that's what she says.
yeah,
Did you make it on some kind of tape?
yeah,
Uh huh.
double-sided tape.
Yep.
So I'm going to use it with this one, but I'm not sure how or where yet. So I'm not going to stick it down yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that this, well, trying to decide.
What kind of pages are you using in it, Barbara? Using spiral book for my regular journal right now for that reason to be able to open it flat. However, I'm gluing too much into it, so it's getting chubby. Yeah. I was watching Dee Dee the other day, and I don't get to watch a lot of Dee Dee because timing, and I just don't have time to sit there. Sometimes I can just listen, but most of the time I can't. It's just a time of day when I need to be busy doing something else. Anyways, though, she was showing those huge, I don't know, 500-page, 800-page journals that she gets that are actually just copy paper weight. Well, what happens is if she gets one that starts to get too fat, she just takes the back half of it off and stops. Now, then the other thing she does is if there's empty pages in it, she doesn't care. She just stops. So if it gets too fat, she just stops and gets a new one.
Yeah,
And I thought that was, it's like we're worried about finishing up a whole journal. Well, sometimes you just can't.
that's
Wish
true.
I had room to put my homemade Rolodex box, or I would make Rolodex cards like this. Um, yeah, I have several Rolodexes that I have been gathering because I love them. Recently found that they make Rolodexes that are 3x5.
Ooh,
So
I
now
didn't know
I'm,
that.
oh yeah, Helen asked me if by any chance I had any 3x5 Rolodex cards because she found this really awesome Rolodex. It's metal and it's just sort of a pan kind of thing, but it's got a little bit of angle on each end, and uh, it looks perfect to do a fun project in. And but she went to look at to buy Rolodex cards, 3x5 Rolodex cards. They wanted like $40 for Rolodex cards. I said, oh no 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 no. Let's look in my stash. Well, I had looked and I didn't find any the first time, and then I remembered that I had gotten some Rolodexes when I was up at my sister's in New York last fall, and sure enough, guess what? 3x5, and
All
it
right.
the Rolodex I got had a whole bunch of empty cards in it, so I could share some. Um, but the thing of it is, the Rolodex I got is not really conducive to doing art in it because it's one of those plastic lidded ones. So if you make anything outside the edge of the Rolodex card, it's not going to work right. So I'm looking for one like Helen got, or one of the spinny ones, because I would love to do a spinny one that was 3x5. I think that'd be so cool.
That would be.
It's just even without the die or the punch. That's my thing, is that I have yet to come up with a really good way to punch those. However, I think I've got it figured out by using a 1/4 inch square punch and then a slot punch, but I haven't had a chance to experiment. It's one of those things I've written down for myself. I have it written down on a note because, we all have to have those little notes. And I'm hoping to play with it soon because I have not found a really great way to make those holes line back up. But the other thing I didn't realize is that the holes do not line up on different size cards for different size. Not all Rolodexes have the holes the same distance apart, which I thought they did. So,
Yeah, I
that.
would have thought so too.
But because I have a little tiny mini Rolodex that I think would be so much fun to do something with. And it's a one that spins.
Uh huh.
I mean, I have a whole box of Rolodexes. That's how bad it's one of those obsessions like Golden books. I pushed it with a hole punch and cut with scissors. Punched it with a hole punch. But yeah. Um well, and see, most of the Rolodex cards have square holes, not round ones. And they the the hole punch I had was round. So, but I think I've found out a way to do it. I just, like I said, have not had a chance to play with it yet. It's one of those round to it,
Yep.
and the round to it's around here. Good grief. Oh, her handmade one has round dowels. And see, if that was the case, it'd be real easy to do. Um, I don't have any place to put anything like that out either, so it would be one of those some days, someday when I get to its things.
Yeah.
Because that's why I don't make anything that goes on the wall, because it won't ever get put on the wall. One of these days, I want to make some big abstract paintings just to go on the wall, but on canvases. But I want to do really big ones. They might have to have some collage in them too, but
Yeah.
oh, and everyone will be glad to know I have been gathering stuff to make pages for my little Sunday journal because this one's just too full. I have to stop. So I've been gathering new pages, new papers for pages, but I don't know yet what I'm going to do about the cover. I have to look and see what I've got that I can do for the cover. Um, Julie, I've always wanted to do one of those folded books, that look like a Rolodex, and then put all kinds of stuff in that folded book. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where the book lays flat?
Yes. Yeah, and all the pages are folded in to themselves.
Yes, yes. So that it holds stuff. It stays open and folds stuff. I've always wanted to do one of those, but I've no place to put it. It would
That's
just gather.
exactly why I haven't done it. That's exactly
Yeah,
why I haven't done it.
yeah. Uh-huh. I have no place to put. I've so wanted to do one of those, but I have no place to put it. That's what I need to do, Tanya. I need to jelly print my signatures for my new little book. For me, it will be number 6, my 6th little book. Yay!
That's awesome, Barbara.
Uh-huh. I think you need a hole punch for a Rolodex. Barbara, if I could find a hole punch for a Rolodex, I'd be buying one. Okay? But they don't make them. That's the problem. They do not have a Rolodex hole punch anymore. Who was it made one? Heidi Swap. There was a Heidi Swap hole punch for a while, but I haven't found one. I mean, I found the whale tail punch. That I found that bucket list item last fall.
Yeah, that was an awesome find.
Mm-hmm. 6 little books. Yep. Gratitude. How many wonderful days of getting together. Yes, I agree with you, Barbara. That it's been wonderful time getting together to do those little books. We're going to try to do this again next Thursday, Lisa.
I hope so.
Well, I want to try. I just don't want to promise. Is
Yeah,
that okay?
that's fine with me.
Okay. Because I don't know. There's just so much on my list, and I have to find my house. It's starting to drive me bonkers. And
Well,
there,
I have finally come to the realization, or the I'm not sure what word to use. I finally had to admit to myself
mm-hmm.
the limitations physically that I have
Oh, yeah.
and what it does to me when I get on a tear and decide I'm going to clean this up or whatever.
Mm,
And so I have decided twice a day for 15 minutes, I'm going to work on the problem places in my house. And that's all I'm going to do each day. But if I can do 15 minutes twice a day, every day,
yeah.
eventually I will get done.
Yeah.
But I have had, when I was trying to help Hannah get ready to go, I
Mm-hmm.
would work so hard and then I would be down for 2 or 3 days. And I was like, okay, that's not helpful.
No, no, it's not. So,
But she had a time limit and I don't. So,
yeah, yeah, that's part of it. Yep.
Okay.
Well, I will tell you that my foot has been causing me so much trouble that it's just standing up to do like food and stuff like that
Yeah.
has been a pain in the keister. Because it takes a while to, cut up all that cabbage and peel this and peel that and get it all cut up and get it in the pot. Even a crock pot meal takes over an hour to put together.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So I went last week. Yeah. No, Monday. I went Monday and saw a podiatrist. And while he didn't help very much, his lovely little answer to my problem was going to be $2,000 out of pocket because the insurance company won't cover it. I'm like, I don't, I think there's got to be something else. But he explained differently about what's going on with my foot than the guy did 25 years ago when I first had this problem. And I haven't had any problems with it in 25 years. So, I certainly can't complain about what the first guy did. Um, Anyways, I didn't realize that if I did stretches before I stepped on it in the morning, that and massaged it before I stepped on it in the morning, that it wouldn't hurt as much. So I can't after I saw him and he told me what was going on, or kind of told me. I came home and got on YouTube and started looking at stuff, and it's like, oh, there's a bunch of exercises I could do that would help to, not inflame it any worse. So I've been doing that, and it's a whole heck of a lot better.
Oh,
It's
that's
just in
wonderful.
less than a week. So that helps me because I can do more. I can, go outside and get more done because my foot's not hurting when I'm trying to walk around the yard and stuff.
Right.
Hi, Susan or Jasper or whoever's in chat.
Hi, welcome, welcome. Glad you're here.
We're sorry we didn't see you right away. Both of us are not paying attention to chat very well. Sorry about that. I'm
We're
making
out of
5.
practice.
Yeah, that's part of it. We're
Be
gonna do my
patient with
channel.
us.
Yeah, we're gonna do my channel next Thursday.
Sure.
Okay,
Sounds
so
like a
there's
plan.
there's the answer to that, and probably at 1:30. Unless something happens and we can't do it for some strange reason. I really like these just plain black and white ones on this green paper.
I do too. They look very elegant.
Uh-huh. If my sister comes back in, I need to make sure to show her. Of course, I can show her on Sunday. She usually can be in for a while on Sunday. She does Zoom calls with a bunch of her knitting friends. And that's probably, she said she had to go to a Zoom call, so that's probably where she's at.
Yeah.
When she was here, she wanted to get on, and so we used my computer and got on and did a Zoom call. Her son was accepted into the Air Force,
Awesome.
and she called me Sunday after I got off my chat. She may come back when he graduates in August. She wanted to know if I was going to be here and if it was possible for them to stay. I said, I thought we were going to be here. I just didn't want to I don't make any promises to anybody anymore.
I don't blame you.
I was like, huh. We usually are here in August though, because July and August it's so hot that it doesn't matter where you're at. That
Yeah,
camping is not really fun because if you can't, if you're going to be stuck indoors, why go camping?
exactly.
So, but we do have to go to Atlanta here pretty soon. There's some adaptations to the front end of the motorhome that Jeff wants to get done. On our last one, we hadn't had it a week when he took it to town to get that done. So, but if we take it to Atlanta, we don't have to pay the labor. So, and they have a campground you can stay at the factory. So, we'll do that probably here coming up pretty soon. I don't know when. Seeing how Jeff just got back from Tennessee in a
Yeah.
day. I don't know when he's going to want to do that. Um, what's up in here? Okay, I am doodling at the moment leaves, but I've been making these. Let's just a minute. Yeah. Um,
Let me make you big because you got a bunch of them. It'll be easier to show
oh,
them that way.
okay. Um, I've been working on these. I'm just making a whole bunch because I have a couple of canvas boards that I'm going to turn into journal covers with them. Um, I Here's some more I've been doodling on. These are waiting because once you use a Posca pen, you want to let it dry for a little while. There's some more orange ones. Where are the orange ones? Oh, this is the one I made a mess with because I pushed on my Posca pen and it spilled all over. Um, I got to cut all these out, but maybe I don't know, maybe I'll watch some YouTube videos and cut them out later. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just making this is some leaves to go with the thing. Thank you. Um, Shannon Green put out a video about doodling. Okay, wait a minute. Doodling some flowers. I didn't watch it yet because it's one of those things I haven't had a chance since I got home. And it's recent. It's not. It's since we did the workshop in um, Fayetteville. Uh, Shannon was the coordinator. She did not teach, but one of her teachers, and for the life of me, the name just keeps going out of my head. Um, Showed us this thing where she did these painted papers, which is what these are, is painted papers, and then doodled flowers on them. She used a lot of different colored paint pens. I don't use different colored paint pens very often. I tend to do all black and white doodles after I paint. But one of the things that we did do in this one, I have a piece that'll show it better, I think. Yeah, because here's one. Um, she had us, she had us paint. Um, just a minute. This is too tight. You can't see the whole paper. She had us paint on. First, we painted the paper, and then we went back and painted the flowers on it. Okay. Then she used multiple colored acrylic paint pens or Posca pens. She was using some other brands. And the idea was to doodle on them. Well, because I like my black and white doodles, I did the same basic concept and then started, and I just didn't get my project finished. So in the next few weeks on Sundays, I will probably finish my project. That's what I'm doing. Now, Lisa, you need to make yourself big, and I need to step to the other room for a minute.
Alrighty. And I've got one of these books that I took apart, and I kept a bunch of the prayers of the scriptures and blessings that I'm going to cut out and put on the other pages. And then I have a bunch of the pages that I'm collaging on. And then I'm going to do some stamping and maybe some paint. I don't know. And then when I get them finished, I'll put one of the words on them. So that's what I'm working on. And today I'm just working on these 4 pieces right here. So it's a project that's going to take a while. But anyway, that's what I'm working on. So they're all different, as you can tell, because I'm just using all the scraps I have. I'm trying to make each one look cohesive, but I'm not trying to make them all look like they belong together. That way, every day, it's a new, um, a new look. So anyway, I'm enjoying it. I think it's fun. And this is a piece of homemade washi tape I made with double-sided tape and some pieces out of a flower book. A can't remember. It's a little book on like a wildflower identification book or something like that. So that's what I'm doing, and I don't know if no Tanya's not back yet, so I'll leave myself big till she gets
I'm
back.
I'm
Oh, you
here.
are back. Okay.
Yes, I just forgot to turn the thingy back on.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's what we're doing. We're just each doing our own thing together, which is
Yeah.
way better than doing my own thing alone. So,
Thank you about the black and white. I like it too. I For some reason I always have liked the black and white doodles. So this is, even when I doodle on jelly plate paper, uh, that is one of the things I like is the black and white doodles. But now Jeff just came in and it sounded like he got a little dizzy out there. It's too hot and he's been out all morning. So I needed to go check on him. He's okay.
yeah.
It's just he overdid it out there in that heat. Those are the wrong ones. Can't see a thing. So
Thank you.
not I found half of my sewing table. So I did pretty good on that yesterday. I sort of found a hole on the floor in the laundry room, so that was pretty good. Problem is a bunch of it just got moved, not not gone.
Yeah. I
But
know what that's like.
I can't go through stuff if it's just in a huge pile. So that's that, it's just one of those things. I'm going to work on it as I can and do what I can.
Oh, that wasn't very straight.
So, and I don't, you weren't here Sunday when we had a discussion about the new motorhome.
No, I wasn't. I
I,
was in Lubbock at a church retreat thing
yeah, and when are you going to go see your sister? Because
in October.
in October, okay, because I
Yeah.
was thinking that's where you might have gone. Anyways, and I'm not sure who asked. They asked me if it was smaller than the other one. Because, that's what we've talked about all along.
Yeah.
Well, and
But you're
technically,
laughing, so I'm assuming it's not.
no, it's definitely not. It's actually it's actually 3 feet 7 inches longer than the other one. But instead of 4 slides, it has 2 slides. So technically, it's smaller when it gets all opened up, because the old one had 4 of those pop outs and this one only has 2. However, because it's the truck is in front and the other one, the engine sat underneath part of the living space, basically. Um, Mark and Jeff measured them, and they have exactly the same inside living space, except for our 2 pop outs are missing. However, here's the big thing. At this point in time, because this one is so much heavier and has so much more um, power,
Yeah.
and the truck part is so much heavier, we're 2,000 pounds underweight, which means that I could shop 2,000 pounds
sounds sounds like a plan. Oh, how
worth.
funny.
um, we were in Wetumpka, and Helen and Patty and I went out for the day for a trip to the thrift stores, because we didn't really get to do a lot of that while we were gone. And so we went, and I bought a few little things. So I sent Jeff a message that I I had 1,998 pounds to go. And in the next thrift store, I sent him another message that I had 1,800 or 900 92 pounds to go. So I kept doing that all day, even though I had no clue how much I was weighing. But it was hysterical for a while. We had a lot of fun with it. Um, let's just put it this way: I could leave with more empty tubs this next time. So, however, the space to put it in, Jeff kept. We bought a bunk model, right? It has
Yeah.
2 that like twin bunks in it. Plus, it has a bunk up over the cab. Okay, not for people. Jeff thought we were going to need the storage space. I think we're going to have way too much storage space.
Well, this
So,
way you can buy something big,
well, yeah.
you
Or
know.
when Patty gives me a storm door and I need to bring it home, maybe I won't
There
have
you
to put it
go.
on the bed, because the storm door for my greenhouse, my friend in Wetumpka got for me, and for free, and we brought it home in the camper by putting it on top of the bed, and that's how I got the storm door for my greenhouse. Tanya, what brand white pen are you using? It's really nice. Okay, let me um let me see if I can make this where you can actually see it. Just a minute. Let me get this zoomed in as much as I can, but more importantly, turn off the auto. The It is a Uniball Signo broad pen. Okay. Um, I usually get them. Just a minute. Here we go. Uniball Signo broad. You can buy them at Michael's. I get them wherever I happen to find them. Um, the problem is they can dry up in a hurry. Don't ask me
Yeah. If
why, but if you don't
you
use
buy
them all the
3 and don't
time,
use 2 of them, you might not get to use the other 2.
that's right.
I've
I
done that.
Yes. For some reason, they just there'll be plenty of ink in them, but they won't work. It's just one of the things. I've been using this. Just a minute. This Pilot G207. Just a minute. Come on now. Stop this not working. Pilot G207. I need to find out if Pilot G2s come thicker, because this is technically fine. The 05s, which I used to write with. Let me get it. This black one is an 05. Okay. I like to write with these. These are called, the 05s are called extra fine. The 07s are called fine. And it writes really well too. Let's see where I can do something. But it's finer. Uh-oh. Oh, you can see I can't. Somehow I got something on my store pins on their side. For me, that works better. Yes, always store these pins on their side. I'll show you my storage for my pens. Well, let's see. This one will come out easy. This is a drawer. It's a little drawer, and so they sit like that in the drawer. Hi, Sherry.
Hey, Sherry. Welcome, welcome.
The thing I will tell you about these Pilot pens is they don't dry out the same way. They seem to last a long time. And it does write really well on top of the Poscas and on top of acrylic paint. So, quite frankly, if I can find some of these in a heavier, broader pen, I'm going to be buying some more of these because, like I said, these you can buy 3 and use one time and then boop, they're no good. So I do love them, and I guess I buy a lot of them because they do seem to work really well. You've been uploading a video? I have a backlog of Jamie videos I need to watch.
I have a backlog of everybody's videos that
Well, yeah, me too.
that I need to
Maybe
watch that I just haven't been able to.
maybe that's what I should do is sit down and watch videos and cut these out because, can't do anything with them until I cut them out. But for tiny lines, I don't know. Did whoever that is it Jasper or is it Susan? I'm not sure. Um, for tiny lines, I actually like them better than the Posca pens. I have Posca pens that are fine line, white ones, but they tend to not leave a nice, solid, thick line. These Uniballs have been my go-to for a long time. I really do like them, as long as they work. Jasper, okay. We were also just discussing that Brandon didn't come home for his lunch today, so we're a little wondering if it's been one of those bad days.
Oh, I hope not.
I hope so too, because it can get kind of. They keep running short of people.
Where is he working?
Oh, he's just working at AutoZone. He went in. He wanted a job as a driver. They deliver parts out to garages all over the city, right?
Right.
So he applied for a job as a driver because that's what came up on the website. That's what he wanted. Drive all over the city, drop off parts. Well, he went in, and because he knew the computer system, because that's what they used to use at the garage, all of their parts came from AutoZone. So he's aware of how their computer system works, and he's, been a mechanic for 10 years. Um, they decided she wanted him to be a manager. So he took the job, and now they're trying to get him to do the commercial orders.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, they want one person to do a two-person job, and he says, I'm just not going to take it. He said, I don't care how much money they want to give me.
Yeah.
I said, well, that sounds. Has he found a job there, or what's up with him? Um, it's a for fourth art Saturday. I need to talk to you about that pretty soon, Jamie. About fourth art Saturday. It's one of those things. I need to write it down. It's one of those things that's been on my mind, and I haven't done anything to check on it.
Okay.
Um,
So this one's almost finished.
ooh, that's pretty.
I just have to put the words on it. I'm trying to decide if I want to do any paint anywhere. I should have done that before I did the stamping.
Not necessarily. You could put some paint on with your finger.
I'm just gonna set it aside and think about
It was a ruse to
it.
sucker him in, Jamie. Yeah, Jamie. He got the job. Oh, before we left on our trip, he had the job. Um, I told Lisa, Jamie, he found a truck in Tennessee that he wanted. It's a twin to the truck he already owns that's in Omaha. And okay, the one he owns in Omaha is this. It was built the same year he was born. This one is a year younger, so it's not quite the same. But his one in Omaha needs a transmission, and this one has some parts on it that he needs for the one for Omaha. So I don't know, although this one is probably in better condition, he thinks. Um, anyways, so Tuesday, he and Jeff left here Tuesday morning at 6. Did not have a good trip. Had a bad trip because in the middle, my truck decided it needed an alternator and it had a tire go bad. Um, and so they didn't get home until 6 o'clock in the morning yesterday because they drove up and turned around, drove back. Got up yesterday, took the trailer back, and there isn't a trailer in town. They had to go to an hour and a half away to get the trailer that was big enough to haul this thing back. So they've been kind of busy. And he got up this morning and went to work at 7. So, okay, I got to see chat. I can't see chat. Oh, 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 that's why I can't see chat. I'll be live on Sunday with others on Kim Polton's channel. Open cloud join when you can. Want no pressure, no think. Yes, that's Jamie. That's what I knew that was what it was. I just have to find the list and stuff. It's always been the fourth art Saturday thing has always been a fun project. I just haven't been doing it lately, which is one of those things I want to get back to. Get back to some of the challenges and things. It's just but yeah, it was kind of good that my husband had a mechanic with him when the alternator decided to go bad the other night, and Brandon they just went to the open auto zone and got a replacement, put it in, then had to change the tire. So Oh, it's just there's no prompts or anything, Jamie. Used to be there was a prompt list. That's but we've been trying to catch up. Brandon took care of mowing to some extent. You know, it he didn't weed whack though, and so Jeff got home and had to weed whack. And since we've been home, of course, we've had rain, so Jeff's mowed twice since we got home. Um, and of course, Brandon expanded the garden, so there's a lot going on in the garden. He spent last night messing with the tomatoes. Okay. Saturdays is tied up and the color purple. Okay. Yeah, there is an inspirational prompt. Okay, I'll have to look at it. Because that was I had a lot of fun with it just simply because it it was fun to try to figure out something to do with the prompt. Sometimes it let me use supplies I hadn't used in a long time. I was thinking about that the other day. Um, when I used these Sunday, the just decorative scissors, and we got into a discussion about the fact that I have a whole pile of them, but I rarely use them. And for one of the Fourth Art Saturdays, I used the decorative scissors. You love
Thanks,
that
Barbara.
boxy stamp. Oh
That's one
man,
of
that
my favorite ones that I've carved. Carved it on the back of one of those big eraser things from Dollar Tree.
yeah, I like that one too. Oh, jeez.
Thanks for putting links in, Jamie.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. I want to use more paint. That's one of the things I really want to do is use more paint. Of course, I haven't jelly plated in so long. It feels like I've never done it in my life. It's so long ago. I'm so sad.
I'm sorry.
It's probably been 6 months or better since I jelly plated.
Well, maybe we could do that next Thursday.
Okay. Well, I thought about doing it today. I have a bead show coming up, and I just didn't want to have to clean up the mess.
Oh, I don't blame you. Don't blame you at all. I left my jelly plate out here because I kept being was going to go out to the studio and get my mineral oil and oil it up, and I still haven't done that.
I decided to keep mine right here beside my desk so that I could just whenever I get it out, I can do
Yeah.
that and let it dry overnight.
Well, that's where mine was out in the studio. But now that I moved in
Uh-huh.
here, I just didn't move it in.
I just
It's
hadn't moved it
crazy
in.
how much stuff is still out there that I have not moved in, and I
And
don't
now you
know.
have all that room all to yourself. Hmm.
Well, supposedly. It's
Is Ethan
amazing how
what
much
is
stuff is still here that's not mine.
Ethan wants to use his room for storage, right?
Well, I'm storing stuff in his room. It's kind of
Ah.
like my overflow pantry and stuff like that. The kinds of things I used to keep in the basement.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
but I don't want to be going. I Okay, I've been forbidden
You've
to
been
go to the
forbidden.
basement because my
Okay.
kids worry about me, and so I haven't, gone to the basement. So they brought up all the things that Hannah thought I might need, and so I don't have to go to the basement. And I don't like going down there. For one thing, there's only a handrail for the first three steps, and then you turn, and there's more steps to go, um,
And no handrail.
and no handrail.
Ooh.
Plus, the steps are really steep, and they're wooden, so they're kind of tilty
Yep.
because they were,
Mhm.
put in 1929. and
And
then
they've
my
gotten
grand
moist, and so yeah.
and then my grandparents carpeted them,
Ooh.
so they're slick. So, um,
Ah, okay. Yeah, I understand why the kids don't want you going down there.
yeah, they don't want me going
Yeah.
down there. So
Yeah. Well,
I'm doing okay, Jamie. I have been so busy, honestly, I have hardly had time to miss her. I mean, I do miss her because I still think about calling her every day to see how she's doing, but I've just been so busy that I haven't had to, like I thought I was going to immediately start doing art every day. No, she was part of my busyness, but she wasn't all of my busyness, and the rest of my busyness people are all still here, so they still keep me busy. So anyway,
and it's summertime, so if she has to go to town, every place she has to go is, of course, under construction.
under construction, the roads. I mean, it's literally all over town. There's little pockets of construction. Today was so frustrating. Downtown, I was going downtown to the bank to do some stuff for mom, and I had to, I mean, literally what should have taken me 3 minutes to get there took 10 because I had to go all around because some of the street I needed to go on, there was a detour. But then I had to go 5 streets that direction to get back to the where to a street I could go to. It was a headache. Um anyway, it took me a lot longer to do the things I needed to do today than it should have, just because of construction. And I-40 is, they've got construction on I-40. And so the traffic, because everybody just drives right through. So people driving through on I-40 are all stuck right at the part of town where they get off to come to my house. So I can't even take I-40 to come home if I'm west of where I live because it's just too congested. And so I have to take the back roads, to get home if I'm going that direction, if I'm coming from west of where I live. Anyway, I was very frustrated by the time I got home. And then it was time to come on and try to be happy. So so thank you all for helping me get over it and be happy.
Yeah, I will tell you that I don't know why they all every big city picks the summertime to do stuff. I know they can't do it in the wintertime, but I don't know. Uh,
But
we
if
had
they
to
didn't
come.
pick 15 projects at once,
Yes, and if they would finish one project before they started the next one, life would be a lot easier. And for some reason, they can't seem to do that. We had to come through Indianapolis. Now, we were in Elkhart, Indiana, and we realized that we were going to end up having to go through on the holiday weekend. So we said, nope, not going to do that. We will just stay put, spend an extra, time, and not go through Indianapolis on the holiday weekend, which, of course, we found out too that they had the Indianapolis 500 was that weekend. So it was a really good thing that we didn't decide to go through there. But when we do decide to go through there, for some unknown reason, the construction geniuses have closed both sides of Indianapolis's ring road at the same time. There's not just down to one or two lanes or whatever. They've actually got spots on the expressway ring road that's closed. So we have to go straight through Indianapolis on the other expressway, which is fine because we go through on Saturday and it wasn't too bad. But why did they do that? Anyone else get that way too? Know which what? Okay, wait a minute.
The one right before that's where she's explaining what
I get
she's
down
feeling,
sometimes
and
too
I
with
do.
feeling like I should do something more.
Well, I tell you, Jasper, Susan, I've seen Jasper and Susan, people talking to both, so I don't know. But yes, I had time like that where I felt like that I was wasting that, I should be doing something more worthwhile. Now I've got time where all the things I'm doing all feel like busy work. And I know they're worthwhile. Helping my mom and my children is always worthwhile, but it still feels like it's just busy work that, it's, um, I don't know how to explain it. Like there's nothing to show for it at the end of it, really.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
but,
Mm-hmm.
but the art thing, um, I started thinking about it as mental health. My own mental health means I need to do art. And I just need to make it, whether it turns into something I want to show somebody or not. Um, you know, like Jamie's just said, just makes you happy to play and make stuff. And that's like this, okay, it's gonna have a purpose. I'm gonna put this on here and that'll be great. But will anybody ever look at it? I don't know. One of my favorite things to do is jelly print. I probably have 500, 1,000 jelly prints. Maybe not that many, but it feels like I just make jelly prints and don't do anything with them. But
That's
just
okay.
making them makes me happy. So,
Yep. That's the point. I think we all should do that. Just make it to make us happy. I mean, I make books and journals and stuff, but I don't do anything with them. That's not what they're for. They're just to make me happy. Um, hmm, I don't like that. And there's times when um they don't come out the way I want, and that's okay too. One, it's your happy time. If it doesn't come out and I have to throw it away, which usually I can paint over it or do something over it, but sometimes I do throw stuff away. Uh oh well, I don't care because it's not like I invested billions of dollars. It's just some paper, some paint, some time.
and it's
Um,
really cheap therapy.
right. It's very cheap therapy. And sometimes you need to just stop. Okay. It's like, right. When you read something, do you always have to read something that has a purpose why you read it? Or can you just read a book because there's words in front of you? For me, it doesn't matter. Sometimes I read stuff because I want to learn something or I want to know something. Sometimes I read stuff that I wonder when I finish, why did I take my time to read that?
Yes.
But it's okay. It's still okay because it was an enjoyable time. Even if you did invest a million, billions of dollars, doesn't matter. There you go. Um, it's I agree with you, Jamie. It's just Okay, I can't really explain it. I will tell you that as an artist who makes an income from art, because that's what my beads are, I consider them art. Um,
Absolutely, absolutely.
that becomes a job. Um, when it becomes a job, it's not as much fun. And now, it is still a job that I enjoy most of the time. Most of the time, I have found ways to enjoy it. For a while, I didn't. Um, I have learned that I don't do commissions ever. I just say no. Um, they're just not enjoyable. I don't make beads that I don't have fun making. Just don't. It's not enjoyable. I did for a long time, but it becomes work. And I worked at it. I worked for a long time. I worked 7 days a week and sometimes 10 hours a day because I had shows and I had this and I had that. And it was my income. Um, I don't do that now. Uh, I do it and it's discretionary income, which, sometimes we need that too. It's
That's
called
true.
motorhome
It's
payments.
called, yeah, it's called you want an RV.
Yeah, you want something, you want a new RV, you gotta work for it. Um, but uh, if it became even more of a job than it is, or before I figured out how to make it where I could still enjoy it, I kind of thought about quitting doing it. Um, work creates stress. There's enough of that with grocery shopping. There you go. No, no commissions. Yuck. Uh huh. And that really opened things up as no commissions. It's really funny that no commissions, because I don't even take, now once in a while I have certain customers that will ask me uh, to do the things I do, but maybe in um, a specific color. Well, if I feel like that color, I might make some, but if they don't take them, I don't worry about it because I know that they will sell anyways. I don't have to worry about selling something. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy. Glad you're here. Yes, this
Barbara's got to go make
stamp,
a sandwich.
Hannah
Ooh, that
carved
one's
this
fun.
one.
Oh. Oh,
She
that's the one she
carved,
carved that goes around in a circle.
yeah, you can make it go all the way around. Yeah. Um, and she gave it to me. So that makes me happy. See, I even
Hmm.
wrote on the back, made by Hannah, because I was afraid I might forget she did it because everything else I did myself.
There you
But
go.
this one's more artistic and more beautiful, so you can tell I didn't do it.
There you go,
Um,
Jamie. That's right. You just custom orders can just get so hard, and people. I learned that people don't really know what they're asking for,
yeah,
and even though I try very hard to communicate well with people, although I'm not always that good at it, um, the communication can be off, and if I spend a bunch of time making something that I don't make all the time, then I've wasted my time. So, and now most of my customers that want something specific will just say, "Hey Tanya, I need some bright colors." Well, that's pretty standard in my vocabulary. It's bright
yeah,
colors, but I know that it doesn't matter if Julie doesn't take them, Jane will. That's because they're just one of those things. They're just part of my repertoire, whatever.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to where I make the things that are easy. That's another thing. Things that don't don't stress me out when I'm making them. Oops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be off screen. When I got up to get eye drops, I meant to turn the air conditioner down. It's hot in here.
Yeah, I did that before I came on while I was trying to get stuff together because I keep my house pretty warm, just so I don't have to pay as much electricity when it's just me. But whenever somebody comes over to visit or whatever, I turn it down.
Mm-hmm.
But um,
Well, we
my
turned it
brother
down
was here
and turned it
Friday,
down. Mm-hmm.
and I forgot to turn it down. He just walked in and he was like, "Your house is almost as hot as mom's." I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'll turn it
Oh no!
down."
Oh no!
We all
There's a
complain about mom's house being hot, so I was like, "I'm sorry. I'll turn it
yeah.
down." He just
We
laughed.
turn ours we turn ours down at night, and Brandon complains all the time that it's still too warm. Well, but when I'm here by myself or Jeff's outside, I turn it up because I don't want to be cold all day. And believe
Yeah,
me, the two of them would keep it cold to watch, listen to my. Oh yes, Jamie's my. You need to hear this. Definitely, Jasper, watch that series because she has. I love the way Jamie thinks. I really do. Uh-huh.
and she doesn't pull
Lisa.
punches. She tells you the truth.
Yep. Yep. Did you see these? Did you see
No.
my video? Okay, in this last week I did a Dollar Tree haul.
Oh, I need to go watch it.
Okay. Now I think I threw the packaging away. These are not Dollar Tree brand,
No,
but
Prang is a good brand.
yeah, both stores had them. Both of my local stores, both of my bigger stores had them,
Yeah.
and that doesn't usually happen if it's just what do I want to say? Where they bought out something.
Yeah.
Usually, then it'll only show up in one store.
Oh, I need to go. That's really cute. Praying, I have somewhere some praying watercolor paints that they used in the public schools, and they were getting rid of just like a box of blue and a box of red and a box, that had all the
Mm-hmm.
little pieces in it. And they let um, they let the teachers at that particular school take anything home that they wanted to. And because I homeschooled, one of my friends who was working at that school said, can I let this friend of mine who homeschools come get some stuff? She teaches an art class. And they were like, yeah, tell her to get anything she wants. That's where
Ooh.
I got two of these,
Uh huh.
brand new, never even been opened in the box.
Ooh.
And but this was like, goodness, 15 years ago. Um, but anyway, one of the things they had was just boxes and boxes of these praying watercolors. I was like, okay, these are things that could still be used just fine.
Yeah.
They're
Mm-hmm.
not used stuff. They're all, the stuff in there is
Yeah.
brand new, but they're going to throw them away if nobody takes them. It made me angry. But
Yeah.
I went ahead and
Well,
took some. I took some for
I
some of my
just
friends too because why not?
yes, I just sat here and realized I got to go back and get some more because I want the box.
Yeah, those boxes are cool.
Because I want to do. Just a minute, I'll show you. Where did they go? Oh, they're on the spinning rack somewhere. Where are they? Okay, I got these. I've got other mica powders, but I got this mica powder.
Uh-huh.
I want to make my own watercolor paints.
Yeah.
So they would be perfect in these little tiny things. And I'll bet you I could pop. I wonder if I could pop. I'll bet you if I get what you
A
call it in
knife
there.
blade or something, X-Acto knife maybe, something
Yeah.
thin.
Mhm. And I could just save them to use the watercolor, and then I could use this thing to put um yep.
Are they
Yeah,
going to
I
come
think
out?
I think they would. I think it's one of those jobs that I need to do very carefully and slowly. But
Yeah.
that one is definitely working itself out. So I think I could probably get them out. It depends on, some of them are in there tighter than others, but I'll bet you that one came right out. I thought it came right out. It thought about it.
It was going to, and then it popped back in.
Yeah. There we go. See, it came right out. So, yep. Okay, I guess I got to go buy more of the little box.
Barbara's got PB&J. Well, I'm wanting to make some. I got some graphite powder
Uh-huh.
to add to to make graphite watercolors.
Uh-huh.
But I haven't made it yet because I couldn't find my watercolor pigments that I had, but I did find them. So now I can do that. Jamie says maybe heat it up from the back a bit with a heat gun.
Well, that, and it looks like there might be a tad of glue on some of them. So that
Yeah.
might really work well. There, it says they're for ages 4 plus. I can just see a 4-year-old with this. It's going to be brown mud every time they use it.
Yep. Too many colors all right next to each other.
Well, yeah, just, and so close. I mean, my
Uh-huh.
favorite watercolors are still the Corolla. Wait a minute.
Crayola.
Crayola. That word did not want to come out. Mm. Okay. Let's see here. We got this one all done. We got that one all done. Okay. But yeah, I'll try it, Jamie, to heat it up a little bit. Just warm it up a little tiny bit. See what happens. Not a fan of doing watercolor, but I sure like the box as if I need another box. Yeah, that's the case. I actually had thought, and that's one of the reasons why I got several of them. Um, and they had, these are, just a minute, I'll show you the box because you might change your mind on that, Jamie. I actually got these before we left on our trip. Um, they have little, and it might be I decide that I want to make a bigger amount. I don't know. But I took the whole pile because I've only seen these one place, but they are a Dollar Tree Crafter Square thing. So my
Okay,
guess
show
is,
me the insides again because
okay,
do
you
the
let
each.
me let me back out just a minute. Just let me back up a little bit so you can see it better. Um, First, let me get one that's got the label on it. I pulled the label off that one.
Okay, see these little flowers?
Oh, those are cute.
This is a a tattoo stamp pen from Dollar Tree. It's in the makeup. I got a flower and a heart, and I got another one, but I don't know where it is, so I can't remember what it was. But but they work really well.
Okay, I
That
have to
would
go
make
look
a
for
good
those.
bead box. Of
Yeah,
course,
yes, I don't like my beads stored that way, but that's me. I, 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 I've had bead boxes that were similar, and as many beads as I have, um, in these little round things, just would not be a. It would make my life miserable, but that's
that is a
beside the
great
point.
idea, Jamie. Do you see what Jamie says?
I have a box with the circle disc things for alcohol inks. You put a few drops in one and let it dry, and then you only need. Yes, I have that. Um, it's actually it's more of a tray than a box, isn't it, Jamie? I actually have two of those. Okay, Lisa, this is it. That
Okay.
it is standard crafter square. It says it has 9 pieces, but technically there's 10 because there's 9 little thingy bobs inside the outside box. So I don't why it says 9. I don't know. Um, this piece can come off. It's really got a nice. So if you did put beads in it, it would be good because it's really snappy. Okay, but then you open it. Oh, this one's taped, so we'll open this one. You open it, and inside it are 9 individual little thingies. And now these do not screw on; they just push on. And if I'm mixing my own watercolors, it might be better to mix them in these larger things.
Yeah. Well, and it depends. The let me find my thing. Just a second.
I think it was a box for seed beads back when. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. I have that alcohol ink palette too, Tanya. It's a Ranger product. Yeah, and I like the alcohol ink palette for taking when I want to take the alcohol inks. Oh, you need to go take a nap, Jimmy. I did uh put something else in one of them just because I needed something right that minute. But I don't plan on storing these in here. I don't think I haven't decided exactly what I knew I had to have them, and I've only seen them in one store. Now I don't know how many come in a case, and you can order things online in cases. So and like I said, I got these um, right before we left. So, uh, but I haven't seen them anywhere else. So I don't know.
Well,
Now,
and the little it's like it's got multiple uses. If you wanted to take
right,
those circle things out, you could put them in anywhere.
right.
Use them for something else, and then use the squares. So that's cool.
Well,
But what I
and
was going
I
to
got.
show you was this.
Ooh.
This I got at Tuesday morning on clearance for 637, and it said compare somewhere else 59.99. They were selling it for 19.99, but I got it clearance for 637. But
Wow.
it's got the gum arabic stuff and the pigments and the molar.
Ooh.
And that's
Because
what I was going
I.
to show you is that you might want to mix your paints on glass rather
Yes.
than in a little bowl.
Yeah,
All of
that
that
would
was to
probably.
say that one thing.
Well, and I'll tell you what, I paid that much for a bottle of gum arabic.
Yeah, it was definitely worth it. But I
Hmm.
lost it for so long. I bought the, I don't know how long ago I bought that. before Darren
Well,
passed away. So it was in 2020 when I bought it.
when you bought
And
it.
then I bought the graphite powder probably a year ago or 2 years ago. And then I couldn't find this. So it was like,
Okay, so in the graphite powder, you're going to mix into the um, watercolor paint
yeah, so that it
pigments.
becomes like graphitint type watercolors.
Okay. See, and I have not used any of those or really looked at any of those. So,
I've seen people use them, and I thought, oh, it'd be fun to make my own. And I saw one girl who was using regular watercolor tube paint and adding the graphitint to it, but she was just mixing it, in like this with a paintbrush, and it was so it wasn't very smooth, and the grains were not really incorporated well, but it
yeah.
still gave a really cool texture. And so I thought I would try different ways and see what I like best. But it's not, but I haven't done it yet. So
Xander and Patty mix on glass, no waste. Scrape it off, easy cleanup. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Um, now I'm kind of perturbed with myself because when you see it at Dollar Tree, you better bloody buy it. I only
or
bought
it
two.
won't be there.
These I got last week, and I went back the other day because I had to get something for mom. They're gone. These are a new box too. I got this. I was thinking, oh, okay, what am I going to use this one for? And I thought, what I really want to do with it is put my uh, put some washi tapes in it because where I have my washi tape, it doesn't work good.
Yeah.
Um, and so I thought I'd put, just parts of them in this because this box will fit in my spinny rack that's on my table. And I got two of them thinking because they'll stack in my spinning rack. But now I wish I'd have bought some more because I had some other ideas about them. So I'm just like, and they're not there. But there again, so this is a divided case. This is some new little box you might want to be on the lookout for if you've
I
got
guess I'm gonna
ideas on
have to
how to
go to
use them.
Dollar Tree.
Yeah. Um, you would want some gum arabic because adding pre-made paints can weaken the binding. Yeah. And the gum arabic, I want it to mix with the mica powders to create sparkly watercolors. Is my plan. It's a plan. Doesn't mean that it's going to be accomplished. It's just a plan. And I will tell you that it's interesting to see what is in the stores. These little nail things that I
Yeah.
buy. Okay. Uh, Hi, Susan. One
Hi,
of the stores
Susan.
here,
Welcome,
one of the
welcome.
stores here in town always has them. Different ones. The other store doesn't have them. Never has them. And mom needed those. Oh, what do you call that thing? They're little bags you put your laundry in. The net,
Lingerie bag.
yeah, little lingerie bags. And they have them three for $1.25, right? She needed some more because of her socks. And the store that's close to mom never has them. Don't ask why. Don't know. Just don't know why they don't have them, but they don't. So I had to go clear across town to get them. So you just don't know. Now, the day I wanted something and couldn't find it anywhere, Jeff took me to like 5 different stores because we have that many here in town. We did a whole Dollar Tree day. It was so much fun. Um, Finally found the thing I wanted at the very last Dollar Tree.
Well, aren't you glad you had five instead of just four?
Just one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, we have probably that many here uh, at the moment. I always wonder if they're gonna close
Yeah.
some of
Oh,
them, but
they don't have Tanya's stuff at mine, Lisa, so you probably didn't get them either.
well,
Okay,
shucks. I'm
Susan.
gonna
I'm
go
glad.
look, but you're
I'm
probably
glad
right
to.
because Tanya's seen several things that I couldn't find. So
Um. Well. Uh. You need to watch my video. Is what you need to do because
yeah, I do.
Are
I
you
need
looking?
to. Ah, those were at Dollar Tree.
Yeah, they're in a dollar and a quarter each. You have to have both. Don't buy one if you can't get the other one. Um, I've seen them elsewhere, and both my stores had them.
Okay.
Now, these have been out for a long time, but they hadn't had any. Both the Dollar Trees had them, and they've got um, just a minute, mica powders to go in them. You need to watch the video.
Yeah, I will. I'll go. I'll
Okay,
watch it when we get off. I'll
okay,
cook me something to eat
and then
since my lunch was not so great, and I'll watch them.
yeah, because I've I started finding stuff while we were on the trip and found like B a B left where somebody didn't realize you have to have both.
Oh yeah,
That kind of thing in a couple of the stores, and then I got home and both my stores had it. So it's showing back up on the market in the stores. So
yeah.
if
Well,
it
I've
does,
definitely never seen them in my stores, not so
th-
far. But I have been going to Dollar Tree less and less lately because well, for one thing, I'm trying not to spend money I don't need to
right.
spend, but partly because I just really don't need anything.
Well, yeah, I didn't need anything either, but I've been looking for that. I was going to try ordering it online
Yeah,
and just, ordering maybe a case of it. Um, the Ever since I played with the stuff I had left over from years and years ago, the old stuff I had. Um, but it hasn't been available online. So to have it show back up in the stores, but they've brought out other stuff, um, molds and things like that.
yeah. Well, I got a couple of molds when I saw them.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and I thought, well, I can always buy the resin
Other resin,
um
yeah,
at Hobby Lobby, if I need
right.
to. So I didn't worry when I didn't see it, but um
Well, you want to keep an eye out.
chat
Um,
refreshes like a Model T, Susan said. Oh,
oh
sorry,
dear.
Susan. Oh,
What
uh-oh.
time is it?
4 o'clock.
Okay. Um, I can probably stay maybe another half an hour
Okay.
because then I got to figure out about Jeff and food.
Yeah.
I think he wanted pizza last night, so we'll see if he wants pizza tonight. It'll
Well, that
depend.
sounds good, actually. And I have a gluten-free crust
Ooh, yummy. Uh-huh.
in the freezer, and I have all the stuff. I could do that. That sounds good.
There you go. Jeff wants me to make frozen breakfast burritos again. While we were on our trip, he goes, you haven't done this in a long time, and I'm like, well, no, it takes a while, and if you're not going to eat them, then I'm the only one who eats them. No, I want. I'm like, okay, I'll make some. Doesn't hurt my feelings to make those. it's a, it's like a whole day affair because
It is, yeah.
I'm not making two.
Hello,
I'm gonna make
Lamont.
20.
Welcome,
Hi,
welcome.
Lamont.
Glad to see you.
Yep. Um, yeah, I just, it's a whole day of, cooking if I'm going to.
Yeah, because you might as well make some and freeze them.
Well, that's it. I make them and freeze them. I wrap them in, what do you call it? Deli wrap, and put them in a bag and freeze them. And then you can just take one out and heat it up, and you can heat it from frozen. And um, we like them. And I used to do that every so often, so that I cooked one day and didn't have to cook, a bunch of stuff for a while. I
Yeah.
just haven't done it in a long time. Do you make breakfast burritos and then freeze it? Oh, Susan asked, and I didn't read her chat. Yes, Susan, I make them and then I freeze them. Now, here's the rub. Don't put any salsa in them. You want to have the salsa after the fact. That's the deal. I scramble eggs, and I get frozen hash browns, which I cook. Um, what I do is I scramble eggs. I I cook sausage or bacon, either one. Um, Usually green peppers and onions, but I'm one of those people who has to have my green peppers and onions very well cooked. So I usually cook them in the grease with the meat.
That's what I was fixing to say. That's what I
Yeah,
do too.
yeah, and then I cook the eggs separately because I don't like the way they cook up with the meat. Just me. Um, then I like to cook the um, potatoes separately. If there's grease left in the pan, yeah. If not, I have to use something else. Now, if I have bacon, I usually save bacon grease in the fridge, but I'm out right now, so that's the way it works. So sometimes I use that. I can use hamburger too. I usually like bacon or sausage.
Yeah.
I've used ham. Um, just cut up little pieces of ham in them. Um, then I wrap them all up and wrap them in individually in. Talking about this cooking, we've recently discovered the air fryer. Linda bought it in and love it. We haven't been using Jeff's as much as I wish.
I use
Thank
mine
you, Lamont.
all the time.
Um, I've just been doodling these. Now I'm cutting it up, cutting these out. I'm gonna make a big collage with them. Um, Anyways, and then they're frozen. They're in a bag. They're wrapped up individually. You can take them out. Deli paper can go in the microwave. Um, and it helps to keep them moist. But don't put the salsa in them. It doesn't like to be microwaved after the fact. It gets in everything and it will make everything into a big old mushy mess.
Yeah.
So, what you want to do is open up your wrap after it's hot and put some salsa in. Jamie's back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
But we were in the
The air
camper.
fryer. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just saying the air fryer I have is a toaster oven air fryer. It's not a basket.
Yep.
It has a shallow basket in it that you can use, or you can use a tray, you know, um, for air frying. But I do, if I'm reheating like French fries or I don't know, something like that that's already been cooked and I'm just reheating it. Um, I'm trying to think what else we've done that way. I did some egg rolls that way. I put them in that basket, but most everything I cook in there, I cook on the tray with some parchment paper um, for easy cleanup. But I saw somebody cook steak in it, and I thought, okay, now that's going too far. But I tried it, and it was good. It was really good. I was in shock.
We cooked. I made sweet potato fries and several things like that that I made. I'm gonna doodle some more uh, in it, but I just haven't used it as much as I should. Of course, we were gone too, and we bought one like yours. It's the one that stands up on the counter if you want
Yeah,
it to.
it's a Ninja Foodie, I think's what it's
Yeah,
called.
Ninja Foodie one. Yeah. I bought it because it's big enough. Not the little ones with the basket aren't really big enough to cook for more than one person or two people at a time, and I want to be
Yeah,
able to cook a whole meal in it. So that's why I did that. And we fixed chicken strips and curly fries in it one night because that's one of Jeffrey's favorite oven broiled meals. So we did that, and I cooked. We just haven't used it as much as we should. Um, but I really like it. Now, I don't have to stand it up because where I have it is on the island, so it just sits there the whole time. I just keep it unplugged and we plug it in when we want to use it.
yeah,
Yeah, that was the thing. I needed it to be big enough to have several servings for us because Jeff didn't used to eat tiny. He doesn't eat as much at one time anymore. Um, we even sometimes have to have a to-go box for his restaurant meals, which is never been the case in the past. Yep, just plug it in when I want to use it. Yeah, and especially since we have a gas oven, so it would really help. I don't use the oven to cook much, and the meals I've been cooking lately, I've been putting in the crock pot. So, but Jeff wanted the burritos while we were on our trip. I usually do a fair amount of um, pre-cooking before we leave, so I
yeah.
have frozen stuff in the camper, and this time I did not get that done. Um, so it was kind of odd, but since we were with someone else, it turned out really well. They cooked one night, then we cooked the next night, then they cooked one night, and we cooked the next night. And then somehow along the way, when we got the new camper and everything went all crazy, they did almost all the cooking.
Thanks, Barbara.
Yeah, I think that's going to be so fun. Now, are you going to do the backs? Did you do the backs?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll show them to you in a minute when I finish
Okay.
getting this on there. I don't think I just. No, I did. Okay. I thought I
Lamont,
inked one of them wrong, but I didn't.
Lamont, I took a collage workshop in April and did not get my project done. So these are part of that project. I just it, a little bit different than the teacher because I only using black and white to do my um, doodling, and I do a lot of doodling where she did a little bit but not quite as much as I'm doing. Anyways, When I get them all done and I get them all cut out, I am going to do a couple of collages with them, and then I'm going to use those collages to cover a book. Probably just a book with white pages inside of it. I haven't decided how I'm going to do it yet. I'm thinking I'm going to use a Coptic binding. Barbara gave you the answer. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Lamont. I'm having trouble seeing chat, so I do apologize. Um,
Well, the Ninja Foodie that you're talking about, Susan, is different from mine. Mine doesn't have pressure cooker, stew pot, or slow cooker. But it has air fryer, broiler, bake, toast, um, broil, dehydrate. I can't
yeah,
remember. It has a whole bunch of things, but it doesn't have the pot. It's
yeah,
just like it looks like a toaster oven.
yeah, a skinny toaster oven. That's
Yeah, it
yeah,
is. It's really skinny compared to anyone I've ever had before.
yeah. And Lamont, I will probably do the um collages on my channel on Sunday. I don't know. Um, and just so everybody knows, we're going to be on my channel next Thursday at 1:30. Is that a milk tin you're using? No, it is not. Um, without a stove. Oh, see, I use my stove all the time, Susan. Let me get the focus back in so that we can see this again. Um, these are my favorite white. Just a minute. Come on. Focus. It's called a Uniball Signo Broad. Okay. Now, you can get these at Michael's. I get them wherever I find them, scrapbook stores. I've had to order them a couple of times. Um, the thing I will tell you about these is they they can have ink in them and dry up. They can be very, very ornery as far as drying up. Um, I recently found, but the thing of it is this is all acrylic paint and Posca pen, and I use Posca pens a lot. Um, so they will draw over just about anything. I found this while I was gone off this last time. Just a minute, come on, focus. There we go. G2, this Pilot G207. Now, this one is considered fine. What I want to find out is if they make this white one in a broader tip, because they do make other tips. This is what I usually write with, which is a Pilot G2. Just a minute. This is an 05. And they're extra fine, and the 07 is fine. I haven't used ink markers in a long time. The Pilot pens, these Posca pens, rather, not the Pilots. The Posca pens are an acrylic um, paint pen, and I love them dearly. I really like the white ones, but when you're doing really fine lines with the white ones, they are not as opaque. Um, just check your seal. What? I missed something.
Oh, she's talking about a pressure canner. Her aunt was
Oh,
canning and the lid blew off her pressure cooker and hit her in the head. Oh my goodness.
oh. I'm sorry to hear that. That's awful.
That
Pressure
is
cookers are
awful.
their pressure cookers are one of those things you really have to pay attention when you're
You do.
using
You
them.
don't, yeah, you don't use them lightly. But I can't, it's hard for me to imagine the lid actually coming off of one because you have to twist them in place and,
Right. But
oh,
Jeffrey's cousin got hurt very badly with a Coke bottle that got dropped. So
Anything can hurt you if it's if it hits you in the
yep.
right place.
If it hits you in the right place, anything. Pressure can seal. Always check the parts. Yep, that's right. With a pressure canner, you've got to. Um,
Yeah.
but the Posca pens, I love the Posca pens. I love the fact that they come in different um, tip sizes. I almost always use black and white ones. That's my favorite. Um, but this Uniball one, Signo one, Uniball Signo. I've used these for years. The biggest problem you have with them is don't buy a bunch of them and expect to keep them for a long time because they just get dry. That and once their tip is dry and clogged, I have not found anything yet to unclog it.
I haven't either. The
Hmm.
burning it doesn't work. That nothing works. Once it's done, it's done. When it's your time, it's time. Well, there is.
Yeah.
Um.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I agree. um.
Well, and I canned for years, and I used the pressure cooker to can, and I've never had a jar break in the pressure canner. Knock on wood, and I'm gonna have to use my head. But from what I've been seeing in the canning forums the last few years, there a lot of people are losing jars in the pressure canner. Now that
And I
doesn't
think
make
it's
a
because the jars are not being made the way they used to be.
well, I think so too. Brandon told me a few years ago that they had changed the formula for just a minute. What is the glass that they make measuring cups out of?
Pyrex.
Pyrex. Pyrex's formula has changed,
Yeah.
and quite frankly, that's the same kind of glass that most of the ball jars were made out of. Was a hard glass, um, and is still in the hospital checking about the fifth time.
You really think he's a cat? Well,
But these days, the jars, the rings, yeah, the lids are not the same. Now, uh
I started buying the 4 jars brand lids
huh,
because I've been watching so many people that they, say they've never had one not seal or had
uh
problems
huh,
with those. Because I've had several in the last well, Hannah and I did quite a bit last summer, and I had several jars not seal.
yeah,
So I just bought those lids, and the way the price of lids are going up nowadays, they're not any more expensive to buy those. And
no.
you can buy them from the company, 4 jars, or you can even buy them on Amazon now. Um, but anyway,
I was gonna say, I
if
think
you're
that's
gonna
the
do it,
brand.
that would be my recommendation: is to go ahead and buy those lids.
Yeah, that's the brand. I think I have written down that somebody had recommended to try because the other lids are and the lids are bending in the pressure cooker too, and
Yeah, they're
that's just yeah,
buckling.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I had
Hi,
one do that,
Kathy.
and I couldn't figure out what they were talking about when they talked about them buckling. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like there's a crease right in the middle of
Yeah,
the lid. I
because
was like, oh, so that's what they meant.
the lid's just not strong enough. So the thing to do is turn off the heat and walk away. Yes, never, never,
Absolutely. Yeah.
never try to open a hot pressure cooker. That is for
And
sure.
don't try to cheat and let a little of the pressure out.
Mm-mm.
Not only is
Nope.
it dangerous, but it will mess up your jars. It will
Yeah,
it will
yeah.
soften your food.
And I've never had that happen. So, and I used now I haven't in a long time canned that much. And we don't have a lot of space to keep stuff that's canned. More importantly, I don't get enough at one time to can.
Yeah.
So, I've been using the dehydrator because I mean, I dehydrated eggplants a year ago. Yes, a year ago, and I love that. I can throw it in just about anything and add the eggplant to stuff that it takes on the flavor of just about anything you put it in most of the time. And it worked out really well dehydrated. And like I've got tomatoes in the dehydrator right now. Hi, Mark.
Hey, Mark. It's
Um,
good to see you. Glad you're here.
um, the thing with the tomatoes is I don't get enough to can
Yeah.
really, or even to make salsa or sauce. So uh, by dehydrating them, I can powder them,
Yeah.
and then I can use them so easily. It's awesome. I have
Yeah.
I,
Yeah. I wish
dehydrated
I got
apples.
enough
Oh, I
tomatoes to
love.
do that. Um, Susan
Well,
said she would stand back 3 feet with her wooden spoon and tip the noisemaker. When you're using a pressure cooker, you can do that. When you're using a
yeah,
pressure canner, do not do that.
yeah,
There is a difference between a cooker and a canner. Oh, I have an apricot tree. I haven't had any apricots in the last several years, but I love to dehydrate apricots. They look ugly compared to
yeah.
what you buy, but they taste 100 times better. In fact, I won't even eat the dehydrated apricots that you buy.
That's because they put so much sulfur on them.
They
Um,
do. They taste
well,
like
you guys
rubber.
know. I mean, you can't see them in there very well, but and they're kind of ugly. But I put lemons in the dehydrator every winter, and then I have lemons all year long.
Yeah, if I had free lemons, I would do that too. But I have to
Yeah,
buy
well,
mine, and they cost the same all year long. So
Susan says I was about 23 and stupid. uh, yes, Jamie, a lot of dried fruit has sulfur on it to help it dry, and a lot of it has sugar added to it. Um, Dehydrated pineapple almost always has sugar, but they also use sulfur on it.
if it looks real pretty, they put sulfur
Hmm.
on it.
Yep, yep. Hmm.
Okay, I'm going to show you all these real quick because I'm finished, and I'm
Okay,
just going to
and
do them
why
right
don't you
here
make it big, and then I'll show mine because about
because it
then we
won't be
need
any
to.
bigger.
Oh, okay. Because about then I need to probably go.
Yeah, the sugars get concentrated in the apricots and are yummy. Yes, they do. They're delicious,
Hmm.
and they keep the tartness if you do them yourself. But the ones that you buy that they've put the sulfur in, those apricots do not taste apricotty,
No,
not
they
like the
don't.
ones you do yourself.
Nope.
If you've never had the ones you do yourself, don't ever do them because you will never go back. Okay, here's one. You can tell there's big difference here, but I thought it was fun. I used all my own stamps, even my little fox. Don't know why I decided to put a fox on there, but I did.
Give me just a second. Hi, Tanya. I didn't want to miss saying hello to her.
Oh no, thank you. Hi Tanya, I'm glad you're here. But I haven't used my hand carved stamps in a long time, so I was having fun with those today. This is the one that Hannah carved,
Oh,
and
those
you
are
can
going to be
see that
so fun.
they're all different.
Yeah. Well, now you get to start putting them back in your. You did four. You get to put them back in your little spirally thing.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't really matter because they're not in
no,
any kind of order.
no. And you've got one on each side, so
Yeah, I just can't put the back on it or anything
no. And I
until I
wouldn't
get through.
close.
But there's
Yeah, I wouldn't close it down, but that will protect them a little bit. So
well, and it'll keep
yay.
them ups, oops, oops, oops. You need
Yes,
to
fit
take them
it.
all on around. Okay, there's one
Yeah.
that. Okay.
And if they keep falling off, lay a piece of painter's tape over the crack.
Uh, make sure they're all in there because that one.
Wasn't actually on everything.
Well, one like when this one fell off, the other three came off just of this one.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so there they are. So there's the
That
start
came
to that project. So,
that came out awesome, Lisa.
well,
Okay,
I think
so
it'll be fun, and I can just do a little one here and there, and I don't have to do four at a time.
no, no, and
So,
if you're working in your chair, you can just do one.
yeah.
Lisa, how many times a day does Hannah call you?
Well, she called me once a day the first 2 or 3 days, and then she hasn't called me since I've called her. So I guess she's doing okay.
Yeah. Would somebody put in my channel link since we're going to be on my channel next
Yes.
Thursday? I was going to show you. I haven't finished, of course, and I got a few of these cut out, and I made some leaves which I'll cut out. I got this one done. I have some more painty paper that has nothing on it at all. Whether or not I use it or don't, I don't know yet if I'm going to need that many. Let me show you the ones I got cut out.
There's Tanya's channel.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Um, Next Thursday will be on my channel, and
Oh, those are so
that
cute, Tanya. I love
I
them. I want to make some.
okay, and I'll fix this one by putting another, something over
Yeah,
the
yeah. No, it
top.
will never be known that for it wasn't what you liked.
Right, that I boo booed it.
Yeah.
That my pins fit up on top of it. Um, and
Oh,
I
I'm
will be
not fretting
putting.
about it, Jamie. I'm not fretting about it. I'm just happy that she doesn't feel like she needs to call me or that things are going well enough she doesn't need to talk to me about them. So that's
Yeah. The leaves will go in with them. I made a couple of borders because I haven't decided what I'm gonna, you know, and this is probably more than I'm gonna need when I get them all done. I'll use
yeah.
them for other projects. Um,
Oh, they are
so
so cute. And just in a pile like that is just like treasure.
yeah, it's kind of fun to have them all made. It's kind of like the
Bye,
uh,
Lamont. Thanks for
by
coming
Lamont.
in.
Um,
Hannah's not the
the
usual kid. That's true.
Yeah,
That's
that's true.
true.
Um, mine, unless he wants something, he doesn't ever call me. I shouldn't say that because he always makes sure to call on birthdays and holidays and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
and usually about once a month he would call me. Now he sees me every day, so he doesn't call me.
Okay, Tanya, I want you to think about this. Not you, Tanya McGuire, but Tanya Smith. I
Oh
want you
yeah,
to think about this. Look at those. They're wonky.
there.
They're
Yeah,
not perfect, and that's what makes them so cool.
yeah,
So you could
and
definitely do that.
yes, it's one of those things that the biggest thing you need to do is just sit it down and have fun with it. Take any piece of paper. Let's see here. Let's find one that I haven't used, and we'll just draw on it. Okay, because a bunch of these are just pretend wonky circles. Okay, these are both just circles. This is just a spiral, and it's definitely not round.
Susan
Okay.
says you could just put them in a wood bowl on a table and people will want to touch them.
Yes, and that, yeah, and that's the thing. Now, I will tell you that this some of this paper is heavier than others, and once you put acrylic paint on it, it also makes it a little heavier. So that's another big thing about working with it. Makes it a little easier to work with. But
Yeah.
like the little spirals, let's see here. Let me get a little closer. The little border, I like the border doodle. I really do. I kind of like the border doodle. Let's do a border doodle. But let me get you a little closer so that,
Let me make you
okay.
big.
All right. Let's make this border doodle right here because I kind of like this right here. We're just gonna,
And you just used a paintbrush on those papers, didn't you? Or
yep,
did you?
because
Yeah.
that's what we had.
Well, they look great,
Yeah.
especially once you doodle on them.
Yeah. Once you doodle on them, you just now, uh, sometimes I took the paintbrush and made it go in circles. Um, Sometimes I went back over it with a drier brush
Ooh,
so
I
that it
like
looked like
that.
the. Yeah, I do too. And I'm not sure I want to put the flowery things on this. May want to do something else with it.
Yeah.
Um, this one, let me think. Oh, this one I did actually paint. Oh, after I did the pinky background, I went back with paint and painted over it and painted some shapes. That was the class, is to paint the shapes. Now I don't usually I'm just doodling on a piece of painted paper like this. But like, okay,
Just cheap craft paint, Tanya. It doesn't have to be special paint.
oh yeah, cheap craft paint.
At
Cheap
Walmart
craft paint.
or at Dollar Tree or wherever. Just
Yeah. Now, I will say that Dollar Tree paint is thinner. I really like it for jelly plating, but it is thinner. It is more transparent. It is not really transparent, but it's more like translucent. I love it on the jelly plate. Um, I like painting on paper with it, but if you want a more opaque paint, you want some of the more. Okay, this one's probably from Michael's. That's probably Michael's. Where's this is deco art, Americana. So that probably possibly came from Hobby Lobby. I don't know, but one thing I will tell you is I don't like Joann's. Joann's um,
their store
generic
brand.
Joann's store brand paint. Um, I don't like. So but yeah, dollar shop or pound shop, they'll we uh apple barrel, that's fine. Um, I'm trying to think of other. Oh, this rose art paint. This You can get this rose art paint a lot of places. Um, just a minute. Let me turn that off. Let me show you this. That
Rich art.
the rich art, not rose art. Rich art. Thank you. Now this happens to be from Dollar Tree, but they sell online. Um, Apple barrels are kind of smelly to you, and that's why I don't like Joann's.
Me too. The ones from Joanne stink.
Yeah, the ones from Joann's are very stinky. Um, Americana. I'm trying to think of what other brand.
folk art.
folk art. Yeah. So yes, that doodling flowers are magazines. Now the thing about magazines that I was watching that video the other day, but magazine paper is really thin for the most part. And when you collage with magazine paper, and that's what this is going to be, it's going to be collagey stuff. Magazine paper tends to wrinkle. So that is something I would consider about using magazine paper just for that purpose. Um, but okay, this is something I got out today for something else. This happens to be a book. It's just a book. It's got giant paintings in it. I could doodle all over this book,
Oh yeah.
and it would be really cool. I mean, it's just one I picked up probably at the um, library
That's
book
right,
sale.
Jamie. She says we're happy to enable you to buy craft art supplies.
Yes, that's right.
It's
Yeah,
our
yeah.
it's our joy
That,
in life to enable each other to buy things.
the enabling part is the worst part. But just because this is a picture of somebody's face doesn't mean I have to use that whole thing. I could doodle a flower and no one would know it was a face. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and this paper, because it's a little heavier, um, it's better for collaging. That's just that's just my thing with the magazines. Doesn't mean I don't use magazines. I use lots and lots of magazines. Let me see if just a minute. Uh, okay. No, that's not magazine. Oh, I know what I've got this magazine. I'll be right back. Oh, and let's turn that off. It's the heartbeat of my video is um this poor thing. It's sad. It's a couple years old now, so it's seen its day. Let me put that out of the way. A lot of these papers are magazine page pieces. Uh, I'm gonna find the ones that are magazine papers. This one,
National Geographic are thicker and they probably
yes,
would be easier to use.
yes, that would be an excellent magazine to use. I think Glamour is thicker. Uh, so that's something that you might consider. Um, that's magazine paper. This is magazine. Some of this isn't. Some of this is scrapbook paper. This was just scraps of papers that I had. So um, this is a magazine piece. That was a magazine piece. It's actually it was a flower or a leaf of some sort. Um, this one's magazine. That one's magazine. This one's magazine. And these are thinner papers. So it's not that you can't use them. It's just you can't tell what your source material is there, Tanya. No, you can't. I can tell because I can see what it is and I know. Like this is a piece of scrapbook paper. This is a piece of painty paper that I painted on, scrapbook paper. Um, this is a jelly print, so that's, painty paper. Um, Jelly plate, scrapbook, jelly plate. So, I can tell because I can see the paper really well. Just be checked to ensure they are not a valuable issue before you use them. Well, I suppose that's true.
Well,
Google the issue volume. Some of the old ones are valuable, some not so much.
I was going to show y'all something my mother gave me
Okay. Yep.
just
Yep.
the other day, but I can't find them. I don't know what I did with them, but she handed me two National Geographics. One of them
Wait.
was I can't find them, so I can't show you anyways.
Okay.
But one of them was the month and year when I was born, and
Oh
one of
my
them was
gosh.
the month and year when they got married that my dad had kept. And he kept one for my brother and one for my sister, also the month and year when they were born. Um, and now I'm kind of worried because I can't find those
Oh no.
because that
Okay,
was
you can
something
make.
I was gonna just keep.
Yeah. Yeah. You can make me little again. Thank you.
But
So.
I'm trying to figure out where I put them because I know I put them somewhere safe.
But that's cool. Yeah, Jamie, I guess I should look at the volumes that I have, um, but that you want to use a magazine for that kind of thing that's a little heavier. That's all. I like to use magazine paper all the time. I love the color and the um what looks like texture and pictures of backgrounds and ads and things like that. I pull Lost Lost Forever. Oh,
Probably.
I don't think it'll be lost forever. She's got it somewhere. But that's the thing. You just have to think about what you're going to do with it after the fact. Um, Another thing that works, great to doodle on is maps. Um, Maps are a thicker paper too. Uh, this and there's some really cool, just if you doodle on it, you'll never know that it's a map back there. So, of course, I like to jelly plate on maps too. So, visual texture. Thank you, Jamie. So, that's some of the stuff you did the other day.
Yeah, this one I don't like, so I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
play with it. I'm gonna doodle
Yep.
on it because I was like, I didn't like that from the beginning. As
Mm-hmm.
soon as I did it, I was like, no, no.
And I found my TH Sandy disc during my live. Yay! Well, I need to go. I hate to do that, but I need to go. It's
Yeah, I
quarter to
do too.
five.
Actually, I do too.
So,
But
we'll hopefully be here next. I plan on being here Sunday. You never know how life goes, but I plan on being here Sunday, and hopefully we'll both be here next Thursday. So,
yeah, and I really am gonna try to find a day when I can start streaming regularly again, like Tanya does on Sunday. But um, right now I've got to figure out because I want it to be something I can do so you can count on it. And and I haven't found a day yet where I can know consistently.
right, and
Um,
that's how I feel about Thursday.
yeah,
I you know, I hate to be inconsistent with whether or not I can be on, but that's the way it's just gonna work for right
yeah,
this minute. I don't see anything that's on my calendar, but I do have bead shows coming up and stuff like that. So, um, do not get the speedball jelly plate. I will say I agree with Jamie that I don't like. I have a little one. I think this is a little speedball one. No, this is the gel press one, but I have a little speedball one. This one, and I do not like it like I'm like my other ones. The speedball one does not behave the same way. Uh, I got it on clearance, but I would definitely not purchase that one as my main one. So,
okay, we're gonna
anyways,
go.
we're gonna
Love
go.
you
Bye,
all. Thank
guys.
you for
Love
being
you.
here. Bye bye. Next week, Tanya's channel, 1:30, hopefully.